half-back flank. Claremont first into attack. Breeze, a little bit of a factor, blowing towards the Perth end as McCauley gets it up. Brown tips it over the back of the pack. Up it goes towards the half-forward line. Chance for John Daniel. John Daniel on the left half-forward flank. Shovels it over further field to Bygraves. He gets his kick towards the full forward line. Looking for Alexander, but he can't mark it. But here's a chance for East Perth. Versigan picks it up. Out of the bench. First score of the match. East Perth, 1 goal.
Great play, Malcolm Brown there in the centre of the ground, elected not to mark the ball. Too hard to slow the game down at this stage. Banged it on quickly, and that's where East Perth looked real good in attack there with Verstegen streaming down the ground, running into virtually an open goal and bringing up the first score of the match.
Read the play very well, Verstegen there, Jack. Dashed down and made no mistake, giving him a lot of confidence from the bounce down. This exciting grand final, it augurs that way. Peter Hines flies, beaten for the tap, picked up by Fragamini. Thumps it down to the centre half-forward position. Wayne Reynolds fighting hard for Alexander, taps it down. Rogers taps it out to Duperuzal. Duperuzal goes on his left foot. Finds Vernon Orr. Vernon Orr camped underneath it. Marks it. Vernon Orr, the speedy and high-flying wingman for Claremont. High punt kick up in the air towards the centre half-forward position. Evans flies. Comes to the ground, but Carroll quick to pick the ball up and shoots for goal, but 1 point only. 1 point to Claremont. The ball flashed up and down the ground very quickly there, Jack.
Play there. Players not stopping at all.
There's
John
a kick
Burns. John Hayes taking the kick out there, Bob.
Yes, a good kick out. It finds McKelgic in the left back pocket between left full-back and left half-back. East Perth going up towards the outer flank at the moment. Hines from the back. A beautiful mark to Peter Hines. Read it well. Come from the back. Used the player in front of the step ladder. And Peter Hines to send Claremont into attack. A good kick over centre half forward, well into the forward area. Many players up, nobody can get it. Out it comes to Deards. Deards up towards the half back line, looking for Fragamini, but it's thumped away by Orr. Well backing up is Verstegen. Verstegen on the half back flank, sparring for a kick, but he won't get it. And the kick looks like going to Parkinson. Yes, it is. Parkinson threw Hanson there, didn't have the ball for the umpire. And John Parkinson will take the kick between left half and left full forward about 55 metres out from goal. John Parkinson lining him up now. A good kick for goal, this fellow. It's under the boot. He's allowed for the breeze. It's drifting in. This will be close.
Free kick, Bob, pushing the back to Claremont player. I'm not sure which one. Looks like Lindsay Carroll going to get it.
Right in the goal square. Silly free kick given away there by the East Perth defenders.
Crisp it is.
Yes, the kick going to Crisp. Listen to the roar of the crowd. Umpire Furman quick to give a kick right in the goal square, this one. We're right behind Peter Crisp here. He couldn't miss it. Surely he doesn't. And the second goal on the first goal on the board to Claremont. They lead by 1 point.
Malcolm Brown not very happy with the decision there of umpire Furman, and asked umpire Furman, I think, why or what the kick was for, but Furman quickly decided he sentence. He took the ball off Brown, gave it to Crisp, and from 10 yards out, Crisp has kicked Claremont's first goal. Good football.
A courageous effort by Furman.
Oh, yeah, by word. Giving a kick 5 yards out from goal so early in the game, you've got to have a ton of courage.
Well, he'll have to be well in control, Jack, early in the quarter to establish it right through out the match. It's going to be a tough one.
If not, there's 50,000 people or near on, Bob, will certainly let him know. But I think it was a very good decision by Furman. Peter Hines had 5 touches of the ball in about 5 minutes, setting himself for the high leap. He's beaten this time by Whittle. Bovell in the front berth there, but Gillespie hard on his hammer. Players going in fiercely there, but John Furman says bounce the ball. Centre half forward position for East Perth. Players milling around for the big moss underneath it. East Perth get the tap. To the ground it comes. Bygraves twists and turns to no avail. Kicked off the ground. Hines camped underneath it, but fumbles this on this occasion. Players pushed in the back, and the umpire Furman says yes, free kick to Claremont.
Wayne Reynolds.
Wayne Reynolds it is. Wayne Reynolds. A wobbly old punt kick. Quick to get rid of it. Pushed by Evans and very quickly detected by John Furman to Ken McCauley. Ken McCauley looking for a teammate and his captain in Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown receiving a great ovation from his supporters. The big long punt kick reminiscent of Malcolm Brown. Oh, big high attempt by Thomas. Failed to hold it. John Rogers is fighting desperately to get through, but Furman bounced the ball. Parkinson take the tap, but Verstegen knocks him after he kicks it, but the umpire says play on. McCauley there with Darryl Griffiths fighting for the ball, but it's out of over the line and out of bounds on the outer side from the throw-in. Ruckman setting himself. Big Moss. Whittles camped underneath the ball. John Hayes flies from the back, tries to get it over to Burns, fails to do so. Picked up by Tully. The centre half forward position. The players fly high. Punch down. Big Bradley Smith twists and turns like a rover. Goes on his left foot looking for Macaulay and finds him. Macaulay doing it well. Straight to the centre of the ground. No one holds the mark, but Malcolm Brown's quick to pick it up. Goes a quick snap, and Peter Hines is coming down strongly. Doesn't read the ball too well. Marshall's in there, but Hines recovers magnificently for a big fellow. Kicks towards centre half forward position. A well judged mark by Bradley Smith over Darryl Griffiths. Steadies the play at the centre half back position.
Well, you can see the nervousness of the players out there and the mistakes being made, but there's no mistake in that mark. Bradley Smith kicked the ball towards the centre, looking for John Burns. Over the back of the packet goes, and Dennis Marshall coming in to take the mark. Dennis Marshall played in many final round games for both Geelong and Claremont. Now kicking towards the full forward position. Well over the pack, up towards the back of the pack. Back to McKeljic in front. He's playing the man in front. Richard McKeljic taking the ball away. Up towards the flank, looking for Fragamini. And he takes the mark. Well done, Carl Fragamini. Puts it up towards the half-forward flank. Here's a chance for David Whittle, all on his own out there. Right half-forward, looks for the lead. Further field, it's gone to Tierney. Tierney, 40 metres out onto the boot. Oh, shocking kick from Tierney. Definitely should have scored that one. And the ball's gone out of play. Phil Tierney coming back after missing about 3 or 4 games. Onto the boot there from about 40 metres out. And as you saw, out of bounds. John Lewis to take the kick of the play towards the outer flank. Pack waiting there. John Hayes is behind. Moss is in front. Nobody can take the mark, but it has been played now. The mark, Moss quickly plays on. Down towards the flank, but well backed up there by McKeljic. McKeljic plenty of dash there. Up towards the full forward line. Outrageous attempt to mark there, but it's not paid by umpire Firmus. But Verstegen recovers, kicks it up towards the full forward line. Tierney chips in, but he can't get it. Up the boot. From East Perth, but unluckily for them, a gallant attempt there by East Perth to score. I think it was Bygraves, and 1 point only to the Royal Blues. Great attempt there by the East Perth.
Phil Tierney almost it was, Bob. Had to go at that, tried to get the kick, but just couldn't do it.
John Lewis now going for the long kick towards the outer flank, looking for Moss once again. It's thumped away by John Hayes. It's on the right half-back flank. Jim Thomas trying to come through. He's backed up there by Parkinson. Players weaving and ducking now. John Parkinson comes out for the ball. Puts it up towards the half-forward line of Big Bradley Smith. No mistaking this fellow. He quickly plays on. McKeljic gets it. Puts it out towards the flank towards Verstegen. And the ball's gone out of play. Left half-forward flank.
Jack, at this stage, Bradley Smith and McKeljic are killing on the half-back line.
Killing Claremont across the half-forward line there. They can't get firing at all. Hines not doing it. Not Hines. Evans not getting a kick at all.
A free kick to Moss this time. Moss looking towards the centre of the ground. A high punt kick. McKeljic comes underneath, but Bradley Smith beautifully judged.
Right back to form, Marty.
Yes, he is. And I think East Perth have been looking a lot for this player for the last few weeks, and he's rising to the occasion at certainly the right time in the grand final. Goes for the long drop kick towards the centre half-forward position. A bit of pushing and shoving, but Thurman says play on. Wayne Reynolds, it is, picks up the ball. Evans leads for the ball this time. Hand passes to Bridgewood. Bridgewood kicks high towards his full forward position. Lindsay Carroll's camped underneath it. Beautifully judged mark by Lindsay Carroll. Running the wrong way. Outrageous mark then.
Had the opportunity to shoot it over quick to do Perusal then too and make a real certainty of it, but Carroll electing with the breach to go back and have a shot with the drop punt.
Only about 20 metres out, directly in front, nearly on the right line. Lindsay Carroll makes no mistake, straight through. Claremont 2 goals won, East Perth 1 goal won. The game started very fierce and quick tempo, Jack.
Yes, players playing on very quickly. We saw McKeljic take several marks across the half-back line, play on quickly, and at the other end of the ground, Parkinson, who's been doing great things on the ball for Claremont, he quickly picked the ball up on occasion and played on as well.
This players starting to settle down now at the 10-minute mark, 13 points to 7 in favour of the Claremont Tigers. Whittle's in there opposed to Moss. Whittle gets the tap out towards the flank looking for Gillespie. Gary Gillespie, hotly pressed by 2 or 3 players, picked up by Darryl Griffiths. And he boots it high looking for Parkinson. He can't mark it. It's in the right full forward pocket for the Tigers. And the ball's gone out of play. A valiant attempt to mark there by John Parkinson. Just about had it in his arm, but thumped away by the East Perth defenders. It's a very tight play by the fences on both sides, allowing the forwards no latitude. There's Bradley Smith in there with Crisp. Crisp gets the tap, but it comes back to Bradley Smith. In comes Griffiths. He's in the right full forward pocket, has a quick snap, smothered, and the ball's out of play once again, right full forward pocket. Ruckman coming in now. Mal Brown's down there with Bradley Smith. John Crisp is in there for Claremont. Smith allowed to go on his own there. East Perth trying to bring it away now. It goes to John Hayes. Hayes gets a quick kick. It looks like it's floating out of bounds. It is. A quick kick from John Hayes towards the outer side, and the ball to be kicked in by Claremont. Graham Moss between right half and right full forward, right on the boundary on the outer side. Graham Moss starting off quite well in the ruck today. Some good battles going on in the ruck division. There's the lead from Crisp, and that's the way it's going. But behind him is McKeljic. Thumps the ball away, but Crisp recovers, gets his foot to the ball, drives it towards the square. Once more, the Claremont Tigers are offline and through for the minor score.
Claremont 2-2, East Perth 1-1.
East Perth defence, Marty, pretty tight at the moment. Players in the position to mark are going for their marks, and when they're not, they're doing the right thing and punching the ball away, giving teammates an opportunity of clearing the ball out of defence.
Kelsick showing a lot of pace at centre half-back. He's developed into a very good player. Malarkey from the kick-off. Oh, shocking kick. Shot off the side of his boot, and it's out on the full. 2 free kicks it could have been.
Pretty nervous, I expect, Marty, playing in his first grand final.
This is right, Bob.
Hasn't played many games, of course. He's only played 24 games.
A bit of rain coming down now, too. Maybe that slipped off his boot a bit, but Darryl Griffiths, I think, is going to take the kick in, and certainly back a long way further than what Ken McCauley thought it was going to be. The boundary umpire or central umpire bringing him well back into that forward pocket.
Bad luck this rain, Marty, for the grand final.
Yes, it is. I don't think it'll be much, Bob. Darryl Griffiths lines it up. Right in the teeth of goals in the 10-yard square. They fly high. John Hayes gets well up in the air there. Ball's punched out over the line and it's out of bounds. Another throw in the right full forward pocket. The big fellas setting themselves, waiting for the tap in. Chris, Bradley Smith. Hayes waiting as a ruck rover. Negative knock, but Bridgewood's quick to grab the ball, but he's tackled fiercely and he's held it too long. And big Bradley Smith, doing it well, takes the resultant free kick. Touched the ball at least 5 times in this first quarter. 12 minutes into the first quarter. Big Brad Smith, number 20 for East Perth. Goes back to kick this right on the outer wing. Safety position for the East Perth side. No, he elects to take the risk and kick to the brilliant halfback flanker Martin, who takes the mark overhead. Evans making sure he doesn't get away. A little bit of crossy thoughts here regarding Martin. Poole displays. He shoots at McKeljic, who gets out of trouble through sheer speed. Bad back play there by East Perth.
And a kick after, Marty.
Is knocked over, and penalty free kick to Hans Versticken, the East Perth number 1 rover. Poole display, can't afford to give away costly free kicks like that. Versticken goes to the half-forward flank. Players fly high. But a beautiful grab here by John Daniels, the centre half-forward. But his big clamp was on and made no mistake. John Daniels electing to kick us. It's going out the forward pocket. Timely mark here and a bit of treatment he received this time, and back he comes. Bygraves, is it?
Bygraves, yes. Bygraves and Lewis.
Lewis on his mark. Bygraves 75 metres out looking for the teammate. Can't find one. Oh, one-handed mark by Moss. Tapped on, but he likes to play on. Kicks it straight down the centre of the ground. Evans leads in the run of the ball, but can't control the bounce of it. Tapped away by Crisp. Well read by Deards. Ball comes out to Martin. Hand passes to Fragamini. Fragamini in trouble. Shoots it to a speedy Burns, but Bridgewood's on his hammer. He recovers beautifully. Burns taps the ball away, but the umpire says over the back of the neck to John Burns. Free kick for over the neck. Lucky to get it, but nevertheless the umpire's decision. Drop kick towards the full forward position. Camped underneath it. Ball punched away by Wayne Reynolds. Bradley Smith in possession. Hand passes to Burns again, but nicely intercepted by Claremont. Thompson it is. Thompson goes for the long drop kick, but Deards reads the play well from the back pocket. Has time to settle down and line his kick up.
See the wind take that one.
Yes, the wind is stronger. He's pulled the ball up certainly, or East Perth outnumbering them, but in comes Bernor, used his body very strongly, and the ball over the line and out of bounds right in front of the member stand.
Yes, the wind a definite advantage now as the ball's thrown into the half-forward line for Claremont. Evans gets it out towards Moss, but he's a little bit slow. Versticken battling hard now, comes out with the ball. Gives it over to Malcolm Brown. Brown runs into trouble. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Malcolm Brown ran right into Wayne Reynolds then, couldn't get rid of the ball, and the decision went against him. Wayne Reynolds, left centre wing now to kick the ball into attack, and it's a long torpedo punt. Looking for Crisp down there, high above the pack is Hayes. Boots it to Bradley Smith. Playing well at the moment, and so is Dick McKeljic. He gets a short pass to the centre. Looks as though they're overdoing, but a courageous mark there, and he's buried. Malcolm Brown taking the mark there. Hot on his hammer was Wayne Reynolds. Back comes Bradley Smith all over the ground at the moment, and Boochard with a good kick up towards the half-forward line. Tierney! Bill Tierney high in the air, and Tierney will take the mark just forward of the centre half-forward position, about 50 metres out from goals and directly in front.
Would be a very handy goal this for East Perth, Bob, if Tierney can convert.
There's Bill Tierney in the shadow of the big grandstand, kicking against the breeze. Let's see what he can do with it. He's gone for the punt kick, and it's not a bad kick. It'll reach the square. Alexander in front can't mark it. And it's cuts through for 1 point. Well, a good attempt there by Phil Tini. Could have touched the post on the way through. I think it did. And 1 point only to the Royal Blues as John Lewis takes his kick into play. And Claremont, I should think, with a breeze of about 3 to 4 advantage at the moment if they can use it. Kick out towards the member stand flank towards Graham Moss playing well at the moment. He stumped it on towards the left centre wing. Well done by Moss. Gets it on to Vernon Orr. Vernon Orr further afield toward, but the backs of East Perth are playing well at the moment, and Martin boots it back towards the centre wing. Moss can't get it. Bragamini does. Bragamini battling valiant there on the left centre wing. A great battle going on here between these two. Darryl Griffiths, he's now switched to this flank. Darryl Griffiths taking the ball, kicking it towards full forward. The wind taking it. In comes Carroll. Carroll can't mark it, but there's all East Perth down here. Ken McCauley taking the ball in the last line of defence, booting it out towards the far flank. And a good mark by Gillespie. He's got open territory in front of him. As away goes the free. Puts it over towards Bradley Smith. Back it goes to Gillespie, but it's overdone. Lucky to get out of it there, the Royal Blues. As Gillespie boots it up to John Daniel. John Daniel quickly on the midfield. John Burns is all alone at centre half forward. Gives it to Malcolm Brown. Brown has a long shot. It's a floating punt kick towards full forward. There's plenty of East Perth players out there. Bygrave slippery into the square, and Verstigan all on his own takes the mark. Rapidly in the 10-metre square there. Verstigan left alone. He's a dangerous player to be left alone in the forward line. Hans Verstigan, the East Perth rover, should not have any trouble in putting this one through the big uprights. All eyes on the young Groves. He comes back now to have his shot. The drop punt. There it goes. The umpires moved quite a lot. Looks like a bad miss it is. And 1 point only to the East Perth side.
Very bad miss there by Hans Verstigan. Only, as Bob says, about 15 metres out from goals and kicking against the breeze. East Perth trying to convert against this breeze. I'm sure if they could break even with Claremont at the first quarter, they'd be a very happy team of 20 players.
Nice bit of play by East Perth there, Jack, to come up the field like that and spoiled by the bad shot. Daniels goes for the thump from Thompson. The ball comes to the ground and it's over the neck in favour of Brisbane Claremont. Umpire Furman not missing much at all. Right on the ball, up with the play. Crisp. High punt kick. Big men set underneath the ball. This time Evans gets away from his team, from his opponent, and takes a strong chest mark. Evans heavily bandaged in the right thigh. Long, high punt kick by Evans, looking for the fellas who can take the big mark. Thumped away by Deeds. Balls comes to the ground, the scrimmage developing. Knocked out here, Alexander. Shepherded beautifully by Bradley Smith. Hand pass to Deeds.
Armanasco
it was. That's right. Evans using his weight freely in the packs there. Bridgewood got headlock on Bridgewood. The umpire failed to see it. Darryl Griffiths shoots the ball out to Vernon Orr. Doesn't grab it. The ball, the first grab, but punches it out. But East Perth backing up magnificently. But John Furman kicking in danger with him.
Marty, yes. A little bit unlucky there, Malarkey. I think he thought he was had enough room to spare. He was about a yard away from the player, but Furman probably rightly going to prevent any kicking at all in danger early in this game and get right on top. I feel East Perth at the moment a little bit indecision across the half-back line. Claremont changed their players. It's Griffiths going to centre half forward, and McKelvey just a little bit loose on him at the moment.
Oh, nice shot, Jack.
Good shot there. 4 points too.
Good shot by
Vernon Orr.
Vernon Orr it was. Because another goal at Claremont, and they need it. As Bob Miller pointed out, they've got a 3 or 4 goal advantage, I'd say. Claremont 3-2, East Perth 1-3 at this stage. Bob Miller.
Yes, didn't take Claremont long to make the switch. Burton Howe quickly switched Darryl Griffiths into centre half forward.
Very quick thinking, Bob.
He found McKelvey was beating Evans there, and it's a good move.
McKelvey a little bit of trouble picking up Griffiths. He didn't know whether to pick up Griffiths or go for Evans again, and that's when the breakthrough came Claremont's way.
It's a good switch there. There's the two big fellows, Hines and Whittle. Whittle gets it out towards the flank, and in the back there to Tierney, coming right down from his flank, and Phil Tierney will take the kick in the centre of the ground. Phil Tierney, a spare ruckman if needed on the half-forward flank, a floating punt kick. They're not getting a great deal of distance with this breeze. Wild kick by Claremont. It goes out to the flank, and Fragamini showing a ton of pace, this young fellow. Gets his foot to the ball, boots it in towards full forward. Alexander's home there, can't mark it. Bill trying to come through, and it's finally picked up and booted by Thompson to centre half-back, and a good mark to Peter Hines. Peter Hines slowing the game down now, taking that kick from centre half-back. Kicking out towards the members stand flank. McKelvey high there, a good mark there to Dick McKelvey. He's a strong player, this fellow. He played well in the second semi and started off very well in this quarter. McKelvey gone for the short pass, and it's too short, and it's gone to Crisp. Chris boots it back towards the centre-half forward position. Here's a chance for Evans coming in from the flank. Evans gets his foot to the ball. Beard's in the way, and Beards takes the mark in front of Beveridge. Very good defence by East Perth. The Jacks had a little bit loose on the case, but still playing well. Up it goes to the centre of the ground, and John Hayes coming in to take that mark. Oh, John Hayes, usually accurate kick. This doesn't go far. And Chris taking the mark. Play on to the umpire. But Tully picks it up. Tully boots it towards the half-forward line. A chance for Deards once more. Smothers the bounce. Well played, Ken Deards. A courageous effort there. Got out of trouble. Kicks it up towards the centre. Oh, East Perth are overdoing the handball now. Through comes Thompson. Boots it down the woods. Beautiful mark to Gary Malarkey. This young fellow over the back of the pack to bring down the screen.
Beautiful, well-timed mark by Malarkey. Carroll trying to edge a yard or two. Malarkey, the full-back for East Perth. Long spiral punt kick. Big Peter Hines camped underneath, goes for the big one, but Tregamini's quick to pick it up for crumbs. In comes through Lewis. Full-bodied rush through the pack. The umpire says he's been impeded and gives the resulting free kick to Claremont's full-back Lewis. Lewis been safe in defence throughout the final series. High punt in the air here. Chris punched well away by Martin. Tregamini quick to pick up the loose ball. He's doing that. Driving up the full forward position. Alexander flies high. Teeny shovels the ball out, but Lewis is in there again trying to pick it up. Controls the ball beautifully, Lewis. Left hand passes it out to Mill. Mill, the back pocket player, a little bit slow to get rid of the ball, but does so on the second grab. Shakes off his opponent, but...
I thought it was a good attempt by Migration to stop him.
Well, I wouldn't have given it a free kick, Jack, said he.
No, I wrote a call play on, Marty. He did get the push entirely, but he was breaking away again, and probably it would have been in Claremont's favour, I think, to let the play go on. But as Thurman had blown the whistle, he had to bring it back.
This is so. Young Mill, the back pocket player for Claremont, looking for a teammate in Vernon Orr and finds him. Vernon Orr wandering around the ground a little bit. Got plenty of pace, this boy. High punt kick towards the forward pocket position. Mel Brown camped underneath it, and no worries about the delicate frame of Malcolm Brown. He takes the strong mark in the back pocket. Reads the play well, this fella, particularly in defence. Doesn't matter where it is. Punt kick by Mel Brown. Once again, it's become end-to-end football. Vernon Orr takes the mark.
He's taken it on the opposite flank.
On the opposite flank. This is how he's wandering around, Bob. Another high one. Mel Brown's underneath this one again, but the big pack fly. Crisp underneath it, trying to play the game as a rover. Gets his foot the ball, but picked up by Moss. He's tackled quickly and is over the line and out of bounds on the pull. The resulting free kick going to East Perth.
Some good tackling here by both sides in this quarter. And there's a kick in. Macaulay taking the mark from Bradley Smith. A good kick from Smith. Macaulay left half-back flank, steadying the game down now. Looking for John Hayes, but East Perth not kicking well to position at the moment. Here's Darryl Griffith showing up plenty of pace, this fellow. And passes it out towards Parkinson, but in comes John Hayes to accept. He kicks it up towards Armanasco. East Perth going up towards the flank. Gary Gillespie in plenty of trouble out there, but he gets out of it. Boots it back towards the half-forward line. Hines above the air, but in front is John Daniel. A big frame of John Daniel. A bit hard to get over this fellow. And John Daniel taking a good mark. The drop punt. It goes up towards the half-forward line. Alexander coming right out from goals and 15 yards awarded against Claremont. Lucky to get that one, I'd say.
Not a bad 15, Bob. I'd say it's 30 if it's an inch.
He's a good estate agent, I think, John Furman. There's Alexander coming in now. He'd be about 50 to 55 metres out. John Alexander probably having his first kick for the game. It's a high punt kick. It won't get the distance. Look at that breeze slowing the kick down as John Parkinson picks it up. Boots Claremont out of trouble towards the outer side. Bo Bell there battling with Gillespie, and the ball's gone out of play on the outer flank. We're about the 24-minute mark in the first quarter here of the 1972 Grand Final. It's been incident-packed this first quarter, and the scores are 3-2-20, Claremont 1-3-9 East Perth. Malcolm Brown in the centre. Malcolm Brown showing plenty of courage now, getting the ball up towards centre half forward. Looking for Whittle there, but Whittle's outpaced, and Wayne Reynolds taking the mark there at centre half back. Reynolds, a floating punt kick, doesn't get much distance, but it goes towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for the Monks. They bring it out through Griffiths, up towards full forward. Malarkey, the 224s, Malarkey and Carroll. Oh, well played, Malarkey, playing well in that position. Gets it out towards the flank. Chance for Martin. Martin first in the race for the ball. Ragamini playing a great game on the wing, this boy. Gets it towards the centre of the ground. Well spoken there by Teeny. Gets it over to David Whittle. And passing by East Perth. Teeny boots it out towards the flank, towards Verstegen, but bad passing once more, and Hines coming in takes the mark.
A powerful Peter Hines judged the ball well coming from the back line with plenty of determination. Hines doing a power of work for Claremont at this stage. Tully's camped underneath one, but beautifully punched away by McKelgic. Knocked out this time, picked up by Malcolm Brown. No, he fails to do so. But Teeny fighting desperately there, and the umpire says over the neck, round the head to Phil Teeny. Doing a good job, Jack, Phil Teeny. Oh, not in that case, didn't he? Yes, he kicked badly into the man in the mark, but Martin's trying to make amends here and taps the ball towards the boundary. Fiercely fighting for the ball here as Darryl Griffiths loses one player and kicks it towards the centre half forward position. Ken McCauley reading the play well, but Malarkey's there, keeps the ball well in front of him, well controlled by Malarkey. Nicely backed up by Malcolm Brown. Punched out to Bradley Smith. Bradley Smith on his left foot looking for John Daniels. Well intercepted by Bovell, but Duperuzal picks the ball up quickly here. Goes for one bounce. And pass the ball to Dennis Marshall. Dennis Marshall going to go for the long one. High punt kick by Dennis Marshall. Moss is camped underneath it. Punches it away. Evans has he got the pace to get there, but Malcolm Brown's up with him, putting the pressure on him. And due to that pressure, Evans has kicked it out on the full, and it's a resulting penalty kick going to Ken McCauley.
Evans was looking for the free kick then, thought he got a push in the back off Malcolm Brown. But Furman elected to let the East Perth player kick in. There's Bradley Smith giving a kick away there to Graham Moss. Bradley Smith probably been East Perth's best player in this quarter.
Yes, he definitely is, Jack. Graham Moss played well for Claremont too. Is going to take the kick about 55 metres out between right half and right full forward. He's got the breeze behind him and a little bit of rain at the moment. As it goes towards full forward, big pack in the goal square. And bumped through by Martin for 1 point. 1 point more than the Tigers. They moved to 3-3-21. East Perth 139 points. And unluckily for Claremont, perhaps kicking with the breeze, that this rain has come in this first quarter.
And it's coming fairly strongly now, Bob.
It certainly wasn't predicted at all, but there it is. You've got to put up with this in the grand final, and there's a kick. Evans coming in there, read that well. Evans playing better since he shifted to the half-forward flank. Only about 45 metres out. A chance here to score for Claremont. John Evans, a spare, ruckman, half-forward, anything you like for Claremont now. As we said, heavily bandaged before. You can see the bandage there on his thigh. Taking plenty of time with this one, as we're into the time-on period, 27-minute mark. John Evans, plenty of noise in the crowd as John Evans has a mighty kick. The ball's floating away. Hit on the goal square. Bad defensive play there by East Perth. It floated back in, and Carroll, reading it well, takes the mark. Well, you can see the white line that Lindsay Carroll's on right next to the point post. John Furman directing him onto the line now. He's run around. He's having a shot. And he's hit the post. Well, that's the luck of the game. A good mark, and then unluckily a kick, and it hits the post.
To me, Jack, it proves how bad this wind is. They chopped that ball pretty quickly.
Yes, the ball looked as though it was going to float into the goal. Instead of that, it came back again, Marty, at the last minute. And East Perth players were caught unawares.
Malarkey kicks in and is forced out of bounds on the right full forward pocket from the throw-in. Bradley Smith's in there. Evans and Crisp. Crisp wins the knock, but Hans Persigan reads the ball very well and keeps the ball in front of him, but due to the greasiness of the ground, the ball's got a bit slippery and hard to handle, but nevertheless, John Furman sees a kick in danger here in favour of Claremont and young Tony Bovell. Bovell, who's a goer on the wing. Gillespie's had the edge on him, of course, so far, but he's a distinct trier throughout. Bovell, not a good kick. Goes into the forward pocket position, and Malcolm Brown lets the ball run out of bounds in the right full forward pocket.
Umbrella's almost being turned inside out there with the force of that wind at the moment. It's strong, real strong.
McKelgic quick to pick the ball up here. Vernmore underneath it. Fragamini tackles him. Nearly tripped him. Fragamini recovers and passes the ball to Persigan. Looks for Burns. Burns underneath it and takes the chest mark. Steadies. East Perth have been very quick to play on. A bad kick by John Burns. He kicked in the danger then, but Furman failed to see that one, and he says, I'll bounce it. Bad play by John Burns then. I think indecisive in his thoughts, and he didn't know what to do. Anyhow, it's a bounce down the centre half forward position for Claremont. Darryl Griffiths tries to weed his way through a pack. Loses it and recovers it. The siren is gone for the first quarter of Claremont. 3 goals 4, leading East Perth in one goal 3 in a very tight first quarter.
1972 grand final with Claremont 3-4-20 falling as East Perth kicking with the breeze towards the foot of the ground, going to attack.
Alexander on the ball and Brown at full forward for East Perth.
It's a good move, possibly, as Verstigan picks it up from that kick by Brown towards the full-back position and well marked there by Wayne Reynolds. Reynolds had quite a few kicks today as he boots it out towards the outer side flank. Good mark taken out there by Claremont, who's slowing the game up now, going against the breeze as Dennis Marshall takes it. Puts it up towards the centre of the ground, looking for Vernon Orr. Vernon Orr running all over the ground at the moment, playing on both wings. He gets that ball out towards the centre. Claremont attacking against the breeze, up towards Hines. There it goes to centre half forward position as Tully gets it. Looks further afield on the Moss. The ball just carried it away from Crisp, and luckily he couldn't mark it. McKelgic picks it up. Comes out with the ball, a strong player, this fellow. Shrugs off his opponent. Gets it out towards Gillespie at the member stand flank. Over his head. Bovell's there with him. Tony Bovell showing plenty of pace. And the ball's forced over the line and out of play on the right half forward flank for the Claremont side.
Bob, that kick of Tully's was a perfect pass, and the breeze just took hold of it and dropped it in its tracks.
Yes, this breeze is going to play havoc in this quarter, and it's, the players will certainly have to judge it. As Whittle's trying to come through now. Gives it to John Hayes. Oh, John Hayes kicks it, but it kicks it badly. John Hayes, usually a good kick, this fellow. A little bit nervous, I think, out there, and a couple of his kicks have gone astray. Here's Whittle coming in there to take the ball. Gets it over to Gillespie. This fellow kicks it towards the half-forward flank. Bygraves is there with Thomas. A little shove from Bygraves. It's gone unsighted by the umpire. And Moss puts it over the line and out of bounds right here in front of the members' stand at League headquarters. 22-9 in favour of Claremont. Whittle there battling with Hines. It's going to be a tough go with the physical strength counting a lot. And Duperousel taking the kick there on the centre wing. Well, 15 yards awarded there as Armanasco wouldn't let him get the ball, and Bruce Duperousel, the captain of Claremont, to take his kick.
Duperousel. Halzik reading the game very well here. Picked the ball up, a greasy ball, but tackled strongly by Griffiths, and the umpire says it's a ball up. Very near an elbow in the face, but Vernon doesn't see it that way. From the bounce down, Alexander flies out. Daryl Griffiths comes in bodily and hand passes the ball out to Evans. Evans is grabbed, and the ball comes to the ground, but Alexander, believing kick towards the centre. Marshall's in front. Reads the ball very well, this greasy ball. Bounces it, comes to the ground. The players claim the ball on the ground, and Berman gives the right decision. Bounce down. John Berman practically in the centre of the ground. Hines feeding with Alexander. Alexander wins the tap. John Burns picks up, hand passes out to Martin. Martin thumps the ball down on the flank towards the wing. Here comes Wayne Reynolds, reading the play well on the back line, doing quite well on the back line. Hand passes to Big Moss. Moss tries to do too much, should have hand passed to Dennis Marshall, but Marshall retrieved where Moss failed. Marshall ducks and dives, hand passes back to Moss. Moss, long pump kick on the half-forward line. Ball goes to the ground, picked up by East Perth here. McKelgic it is again. Boots the ball down to the centre half-forward position. Malcolm Brown flies high. Verstigan's quick to pick the ball up. Ball becomes a battle between two, but the umpire says Verstigan's been knocked out for kicking the ball, and resultant free kick in the favour of East Perth.
He's certainly not missing much behind the play, Jack.
No, very good umpiring at present, Bob. On top of the players, particularly any player, he deserves a kick if you get flattened after you've kicked it. It's hard enough to get it in the first place. When someone cleans you up after, well, the relayed free kick is certainly a deterrent to any team.
So this play by Claremont on that occasion. This could be a dangerous one. Bygraves with the ball. About 40 metres out, 35 metres out, directly in front with a greasy ball. Lines it up. No, it's offline. 1 point only to East Perth. 1 goal for Claremont, 3 goals for at this 4-minute mark.
Do you agree with Brown going to full forward at this stage, Jack Sheedy?
Yes, I do, Bob. I think that Brown is the player that could spark East Perth to get back into the game as far as kicking goals, where Alexander's a little bit loose, and with the breeze, I think Brown could be a big asset down there, although I think he's back on the ball at the moment.
Yes, I think he only had a short run as that kick-in's gone to Malcolm Brown now from that punch. Brown steadies up, puts it towards full forward, and listen to the roar of the East Perth crowd as East Perth score their second goal. They go to 2-4, 16 points. Claremont 3-4, 22. 1 goal the difference, and the crowd come to life at Subiaco Oval.
Well, there it was, Malcolm Brown. He's an accurate kick when he gets the ball, and that was the occasion where they were able to fire the ball out to him. He was standing in between the pack and the kick out from goals, and he brought up the second goal for East Perth, and listen to that crowd roar. They're certainly getting their money's worth today.
Brown's going to use himself where he thinks best. He's gone to the forward pocket now, and he's going to drift around the ground and certainly put himself in the right position, which is good tactics. John Burns going for that hit, but it comes out to Claremont. There it goes through Parkinson, up towards the half-forward flank. Oh, nearly a good mark to Carroll, but it's quickly recovered by Crisp. Over to John Evans, onto the beat, quickly towards De Barusel. De Barusel about 20 metres out, but he can't pick up the ball. Ken Deards is there with him. Ken Deards looked as though he'd get a kick, but the umpire says play on. The ball in the right full forward pocket now for Claremont. De Barusel screws it back over his head, and the ball's gone out of play. Right full forward pocket for Claremont. Good effort there by the Tigers to get it up there against the breeze. A quick snap by De Barusel, and unfortunately for the Tigers it went out of play. Ken McCauley to take the kick into play. Ken McCauley kicking towards the member stand flank with the breeze. Oh, it's gone off the side of his boot though and shot over towards centre half back. Moss is in there, but he can't pick it up. Knocked on by Bradley Smith. Picked up by Tully. Tully showing plenty of courage and pace as he gets through the pack. Yeah. And a great mark there up towards a half-forward flank. And John Evans it is. John Evans between right half and right full forward. John Evans about 45 to 50 metres out. We're right behind him here in the slight angle. And can Evans make the distance? This wind very tricky.
Should swing away to the left of your screen, the ball, if you watch it closely.
There's a kick from John Evans. He's allowed for it, but it's swinging away, as Jack said. And through once more for 1 point for the Claremont. And this wind is going to play a very important part in this grand final.
Well, a player of Austin Robertson's calibre, he'd be the player to have their kick against the breeze today. He knows the currents around here like nothing on earth. And there we saw Evans, who could have allowed a little bit more for it because there's a very strong current of wind coming across the front of that grandstand.
Perfect reading of the play by Jack Sheedy. Himself a great kick in his time, but bad kick off on this occasion. Picked up by Buzz Parkinson, taking the mark. He's looked for a short one, but the Claremont player Carroll falls, and fierce tackling going on there, and nearly in the 20 yards square. 20 yards from the goals, but Furman says, I'll bounce the ball. All the players fly high for the knockout. Big pack developing. Picked up by Tully, trying to get the ball. No, Parkinson it was. Attack to defence, but McKelsick is in there to drive the ball out of danger. Deep into onto the wing, but camped underneath it is that powerful Peter Hines. What a worker he is for his side.
Playing a great day game today, Hines. Marty for Claremont. Got a bit of a whack in the nose apparently as well, and getting 15-yard penalty against David Whittle.
Used his body well, Jack.
Yes.
He does that. He's got a lot of strength. A low kick. Ball's punched away, comes to the ground. Well, I think we'll see a lot of ground play from now on. The conditions become very greasy very quickly.
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball, he's given it. In favour of the Claremont player.
Looks like Lindsay Carroll, I would think.
I think it is. Well out on Jack's 65 to 70 metres out, Lindsay, in the rain. It's hard to make the distance, but he's plenty of air and quite a fair bit of distance. The players fly high. Malcolm Brown spoils. Tully picks it up. De Barusel's ready to pick the ball up here. Dodges and twists, but Hayes was on his hammer and did it extremely well, Hayes. He couldn't throw him off. Hayes hand passes to his captain and coach and Malcolm Brown. Comes down towards Bygrove. Bygrove shakes off Thomas. Bygrove straight to the full forward position with his kick. Strong play here by Lewis and Alexander, but the ball goes over their head and out of bounds and deep into the forward pocket for East Perth.
And no one backing up, Marty, in the pocket.
No one coming down, no one to back up. They're all further upfield looking for the play to come to them from the throw-in. Players setting themselves, about 14 players build around the forward pocket. The big fellas lined up for the throw-in. Moss wins the tap down. Picked up by Lewis. He's foiled him when he kicks the ball. Thompson's in there trying to get the ball down, but he's bumped in the back. The umpire says play on. Dennis Marshall picks the ball up. His tackle strongly. Hand passes to Vernon Orr. Vernon Orr gets a kick on his left foot. Picked up by Darrell Griffiths, but there's no one to kick it to. And Hans Versticken of East Perth is camped underneath it. Takes a chest mark. Looking for his teammate here, but Richard Mill goes for the big screamer, but fails to hold it. A little bit of treatment from Malcolm Brown, but the umpire still ignores it. Alexander on his left foot, but Lewis doing a powerful job in the full-back position. Takes a timely chest mark. Player in trouble on the ground over here.
Armanasco
down. There will be a valuable player for East Perth. Wayne Reynolds picks up the ball from right in the front of the goals. Goes deep into on the flank. Martin's camped underneath it. Claremont with Darrell Griffiths picks up the ball. Long punt kick towards the wing position. Both players holding each other there, and the umpire just ignores it. McKelsick, very quick, acting like a rover. Hand passes over his head. John Burns tackles strongly, but the umpire says in favour of Tully, holding the man. What do you think of that one, Jack Sheedy?
Well, I couldn't see it probably from here, Marty. The players are in the way, whether he dropped the ball when held or dropped it before held. But Furman's in a better position than I am at the moment.
Well, Tully's got it, but Versticken takes the kick in. Versticken
Armanesco in the hands of the trainers and coming off the ground. Bad luck for young Robert
I don't know
Armanesco.
what's happened about the stretchers here again today.
Been carried off bodily, Jack.
They're probably carrying him down to a forward pocket where the doctor will examine him, I think. Young Armanesco might have a shoulder injury, but there we see Ron Alexander. Some 50 metres out from goals with the wind probably directly over his shoulder.
And a good fighting mark there to Alexander. Let's see what he can do with the breeze. He's gone for the drop punt. It's drifting in, but it's drifting offline, well offline, and through only for the minor score.
And they're still hoping with Alexander, Jack said. He's on, as you say, he's being examined now.
That's Armanesco with Dr. Rogers at the moment, having a look at him and just seeing what's going on. There's enough trainers there to attend the whole field full of footballers.
He's
But
a
still,
good young player too, and East Perth can ill afford to lose him at the moment. There's a kick in towards the outer flank. Nobody takes a clean mark. It's picked by both Parkinson up towards the flank. Oh, and a good fighting mark to Darryl Griffiths coming well down from his flank. He's taken that mark on the left centre wing. Clement playing well against this breeze. They're one goal in front of the moment as Griffiths' kick goes towards the half-forward line. Nobody taking a clean mark. Parkinson trying to come away with it. It's on the half-forward line for Clement, and umpire John Furman is going to bounce it down. I can see Armanesco on his feet now, being walked around by the trainers. Let's hope that he can continue for East Perth. Here's a hit out, goes to John Burns, trying to get through the pack. He finally does so. McKelgic backing up well, gets his foot to the ball, boots it towards the half-forward line. Alexander high in there, but can't mark the ball. Dennis Marshall reading the play from the back. Oh, Dennis Marshall having a lot of trouble trying to pick it up. Finally recovers and gives a good hand pass out to Jim Thomas. Thomas left puts it to Duberuzal. Duberuzal further field to Peter Hines. A big ruckman taking a chance with a bounce. He's got away with it, kicks it towards the half-forward line, and John Chris sliding in takes that mark. They're wasting no time, the Tigers, as Parkinson gives it towards full forward. Player slipped over there, and Malarkey coming in takes the ball. Boots it to the centre. Burns can't take it, but Brown does. Malcolm Brown quickly under the boot. Boots it into no man's land. They're not looking where they're kicking. And Dennis Marshall takes
East
it.
Perth half-forwards not firing very well at the moment, Bob. They're pretty loose down there. Certainly not getting into position, but Claremont defensive play is a little bit too good for them.
Yes, Claremont fighting back desperately. They're putting a lot of pressure on East Perth at the moment. Big Moss, long punt kick. Beautifully judged by East Perth then. And the umpire says pays a mark, I'd say.
Box on too.
And a bit of a punch on here.
Now, that was only Hines and McKelgic having a couple of love taps.
Two tough customers too.
True. Out to Hans Versticken, who's all over the ground and doing a magnificent job at this stage.
Oh, well,
knocked away by Daniel. Lewis is in the way here. Fails to break clear. Could have been penalised, but Darryl, it's Duperuzal. Looking for Dennis Marshall. Dennis Marshall unattended. No one within 35 yards of him. Dennis Marshall will no doubt go for the long one. Does so. Beautifully intercepted by Martin and tapped over the line and out of bounds on the outer side. Desperate football by both sides at this stage. 23 points to 17 in favour of Claremont. From the knockdown, Versticken takes it again. Hand passes to his teammate in Fragamini. Fragamini going towards the centre half-forward position. Biltini drops a slippery ball. Kicks the ball and is out of bounds, deep in the forward pocket. But the score is still reading Claremont 3-5, East Perth 2-5.
Armanesco back on his feet, running around a bit groggy, but looking the worse for wear, but I think he'll see out the quarter.
There's the throw in, right full forward pocket for East Perth. Griffiths is coming, having a run on the ball now. Thomas trying to break his way through. Umpire Furman says, I'll have it. He's going to bounce it down. Bounce down about 20 metres out from the East Perth goal. Ruck's milling around there. Graham Moss is in there. So is David Whittle. Brown coming in to lend a hand. Out it goes towards the flank. Teeny trying to pick it up. Marshall's there with him. East Perth trying to get it over that half-forward line. Well tapped on there by John Daniel. Picked up by Versticken onto the boot towards full forward into the goal square. Well thumped away there by the defenders. Good defence there by East Perth. Jim Thomas it was. And 1 point only. John Lewis to take the kick in. He's looking towards the scoreboard side of the ground, and East Perth gradually making up that leeway through 1 point. There's a kick from John Lewis. It's a good kick too, out towards the outer flank. John Hayes from the back, but he can't mark it. Through comes Claremont once more towards centre half back. A battle going on for the ball. Knocked on by John Hayes towards Brown. Brown can't get the hand pass out. And once more, it's Claremont booted out towards the half-forward flank. Gillespie with Bovell. Gillespie showing plenty of face there. A missed kick off the side of his foot. Goes towards half-forward. Picked up there by John Burns, coming right down from the centre position. Must get a kick. And John Burns is going to take that kick now. just between centre half forward and full forward, about 45 metres out. John Burns practically in front.
Bob, I'd say the wind is almost directly behind Burns, and if he could pop this up in the air with a drop punt, I reckon the wind would do the rest. It's 55 metres out. Drop punt he's electing to go for.
We'll see how good his ankle is, Jay.
He only had to put it in the air and the wind will do the rest for him.
Well, mate, Lewis, a Tiger-ish player in defence, this fellow. Must get the kick. John Lewis to take the kick. Left ball back and he's flat on the deck.
And he's certainly doing it well, Lewis. What a determined player he is. He judges the ball well. He backs his judgment and he shows the old proverb, tons of plenty of the gutsy player. Is no question about that. Words fail regarding this player. He's copped a bit of a knock there, Jack. He's a bit groggy.
Yes, Alexander had a swing at him there, but he was well behind him. I thought only grazed John Lewis, but he's pretty groggy, Marty. Recovered well enough now to take a good kick, though.
Enough distance for that kick. Darryl Griffiths in front there. The ball's punched away from him. Picked up here by East Perth. Wayne Reynolds misjudges the greasy ball. Thompson tries to go in and lend a hand there, but Mel Brown was too strong. Ball goes to the ground. Players fighting fiercely here, and the umpire sees another free kick in favour of Verstigan, I'd say, in the back. Or was it Malcolm Brown?
Verstigan.
Verstigan it is.
Brown's trying to get the kick, but I think it's got to go to Verstigan.
It's very difficult not to give a free kick.
No, I reckon it's got to be Verstigan.
Definitely Verstigan's kick.
Yes, it was initially Verstigan, and that's how it ended up. Players in front from the greasy ball, well, they must get the free kick. Claremont must realise this and play from the front more. Verstigan, 50 metres out. The greasy ball, but the wind behind him. No, he cannot get the distance. The players set themselves for the mark, but it's touched and it's over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in once again.
They can't use this wind advantage with the ball, apparently, the greasy ball as it is.
Now, I think the ball's greasy, Bob. This is the main reason for this particular thing. Lewis goes in and kicks wildly out of a pack, and obviously the free kick will go in favour of Whittle, is it?
Yes.
I couldn't see from post.
No, he wants to give it a 10, Brownie. Brownie's using all the tricks in the book.
But Thurman's in great command here. He knows where he's going. He knows the answer. And Whittle, well, he's not in the same class as Malcolm Brown as a kick, but I think he should put this one through.
I'll hit the front if he does.
Whittle lining it up. The umpire didn't move very far. It's another 6-pointer to East Perth. 1 point in front, Jack Chedi.
A very handy goal to East Perth there to put them a point in front, because goals are going to be worth gold from now on in this game, with a very, very strong wind blowing, a greasy ball, and players of both sides giving away very little. There's David Whittle going back to the centre. I noticed John Lewis down in the forward line, still a bit groggy, and perhaps that was the reason he gave away that last free kick.
Well, a bit of science might have gone out of it, Marty, but there's plenty of courage out there as the ball's bounced once again by umpire Fleeman. Tapped away by Chris, but back it comes towards the half-forward flank. Gary Gillespie in there, showing plenty of pace with Thompson. Gillespie still battling, and Thompson's with him. Nobody can get the ball out. Bovell on the ground there, and umpire Fleeman says, I'll have it. Bounce down, just forward to the centre position. Two ruckmen battling there. Nobody can get a clean head out. Parkinson comes out with the ball, boots it up towards the half-forward line. Through comes McKeljic. Plenty of judgment, this fellow. Boots it down towards the half-forward flank. Daniels behind, Thomas in front. Taken by Wayne Reynolds, but he can't get it. He's missed with that kick. Gillespie battling hard, but he's not given the kick, and this time it must go to Claremont. Wayne Reynolds it is. He's playing a good game in the back line, this fellow. Reading the play pretty well. Isn't kicking the best, but having this kick on the right half-forward, right half-back flank for the Mocs. Kicks it towards the centre wing. Chris tried to mark. Parkinson's there with him. McKeljic gets it out, but nobody can get a clean head out at the moment. A battle going on there on the half-forward flank. Finn McCauley coming in to lend a hand. And once more, the ball's gone out of play to be thrown in right half-forward flank, this time for Claremont. John Hayes is in there. So is John Crisp and David Whittle. Whittle getting the ball out in the clear. Goes to Burns. Burns is tackled and well tackled. Well backed up by Gillespie. Gillespie gets his foot to the ball, puts it towards half-forward, looking for Tierney. Tierney doesn't want it, but he's shoveled it on towards the full forward line, but no backing up by East Perth. Allows Graham Moss to come in. Moss left foots it out towards the flank. He hasn't got one lead there as Fragamini leads in the race to the ball. Will the ball beat him? It does so. It beats him over the line and out of play on the scoreboard flank. And it's left ruckman, umpires and everybody behind. There's finally the ruckman coming in to take it. And Verstigan has to go and lend a hand there. There's no ruckman there. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Well, that was a quick one. And Verstigan taking that ball now, shooting in towards the half-forward line, looking for John Daniels and Malcolm Brown. Brown trying to backhand it. He does so. Daniels puts it further afield. Marshall's there. Oh, Marshall can't get his foot to the ball. Lay on the... Oh, a shocking kick by a Claremont defender allows Brown in. He doesn't kick much better. And the ball taken by Ron Alexander. You can see the white square there. A pass by Malcolm Brown. I don't know whether it was meant for him. I think he had a big kick at the goal, but Alexander's got it anyhow. It doesn't matter how you get it, as long as you get them. And Ron Alexander, 15 to 20 metres out, about a 45-degree angle. East Perth could go further ahead if the big full forward can kick this one. All eyes on Ron Alexander. He comes back now. Plenty of time. 6'6" of him. Lining the sticks up. Then comes the kick. It's a shocker. He's missed. A bad miss there from Ron Alexander. And East Perth need goals at the moment.
Yes, players can't afford to miss them from that distance out, Bob. But as we say, the wind very strong. Players guiding the ball down onto their foot. And one slight error of judgment and away it goes.
And nearly a costly kick off the ground by Dennis Marshall. Then he socketed that one directly to Malcolm Brown. But only 1 point resulting. Lewis, the fullback for Claremont, kicking in. Game still very tight at this 22-minute mark. Nearly out of bounds, very close to it. Yes, it's out on the full, and the free kick going in favour of East Perth.
Bradley Smith.
Big Bradley Smith come back into the game again.
Had a great first quarter, man.
So dominating first quarter. He asserted himself. Bradley Smith. High punt kick right deep into the forward pocket. Moss flies high, but it's over the pack and out of bounds once again. With throw in deep in the forward pocket. Ruckman milling around for the throw in. Crisp wins the knock. Tackled here. Oh, the greasy ball came off Alexander's foot. Knocked down by Crisp, but picked up by Malcolm Brown. He goes for the quick snap. Bygraves reads the play well there.
Paid the mark.
Paid the mark. Paid the mark. I doubt it, Jack Sheedy.
No, I wouldn't have paid the mark there, but the umpire did. Certainly, Bygraves was the only one that had first grab of the ball, but he sort of knocked the ball forward, I think, trying to go for the second grab, but didn't get it. However, umpire Furman's decided to pay it.
Yes, you've got to be lucky, I suppose. It definitely wouldn't have been a mark 9 times out of 10, but as Jack said, he's paid it.
I would think that from now on, Furman is going to take the view that the wet and greasy ball, the first player that gets his hands on it, is going to get the mark.
3 goals, 7 East Perth. It looks like another goal on the board. He's directly in front, 10 yards out, 10 metres out, whatever you have it. Straight through. 4 goals, 7 East Perth. Claremont, 3 goals, 5.
Well, Gary Bygraves there, getting the lucky mark and kick. I would think at this moment that Bygraves is now playing full forward. That the big fellow Alexander's gone into the forward pocket, and Brown, a very clever move on the part of Brown, knowing the ball is going to come to the ground a lot, and he's plonked Bygraves into full forward with Alexander in the pocket, and the Rovers now changing on the half-forward flank.
He's not trying to throw them around, Jack.
No, I think it's a good move of Bygraves there. Let the big ruckman go for the ball, and Bygraves hang around there for the crumbs.
I think this is one advantage that perhaps East Perth have today, that Brown is out there right on the spot, and Burton Howell has got to make his moves.
I've got to agree with you, Bob, on this day, a day like today particularly, where you've got to make decisions so hastily and so quickly. It's become a day for the little men getting the ball off the ground quickly, and East Perth are doing this. They're quick to the ball off the ground. They're handling the ball well on the ground. They're getting in front for the ball. On the knockdown, big Wayne Reynolds wins it. Oh, beautiful bump here by Vernon Orr against Martin. Claremont attack, but Malarkey intercepts the ball and goes on with it, looking for his teammate and John Burns. Burns handles the ball as well as tackled. Umpire says play on. Lee Gillespie, quick to pick the ball up, doing a great job on the wing, Gillespie. Looking for his centre half forward and John Daniels. John Daniels judges the ball well, takes it on his chest and goes back for the long kick. John Daniels doing quite well at centre half forward, contributing well for his Perth. Long, wild punt kick, but marked by Wayne Reynolds, who's relieved many times in the back position. Thompson fails to pick this ball up, but Daniels doesn't. Hand passes out, well intercepted by De Peruzal. Knocked away by Bridgewood. In goes big Bradley Smith. Shoulders, thighs, and everything else. Alexander is put under the hammer, but his hand passes it out to young Johnny Burns, who kicks it high in the air, but Peter Hines flies high, fails to hold it. The ball comes to the ground again. An ugly scrimmage develops here, and John Furman says, I'll bounce the ball directly in front of the East Perth goal. Knocked out by Wayne Reynolds. Thomas and Verstigan. Verstigan wins out through intelligent balking. Hand passes to his teammate. John Daniels did. Armanasco lost him behind the post, and Armanasco made no mistake. Another goal to East Perth.
Good play by Verstigan, Jack.
Yes, it was. Verstigan looked like he was going to turn in the pocket and attempt to hook the ball over his shoulder. Armanasco is just finding that he's back at Subiaco Oval after being fluent early and getting a bit of a knock. is now, I would say that goal has brought him right back into the play, giving him probably a lot of confidence, and he's gone back onto the ball to give Verstegen a relief on the half-forward flank.
There you saw Rollo Monasco. East Perth 5-7-37 lead, Claremont 3-5-23, and East Perth gradually asserting their superiority in this quarter. David Thompson, the centre half-back, kicking up for Claremont towards half-forward. Looking for his centre half forward there, but there's too many East Perth players. The ball comes out towards the flank. Good recovery by Bridgewood. Bridgewood tripped there, should have been a kick, but allowed to go on as Burns gets it. Boots it up towards Verstegen. Oh, Verstegen doesn't use the body well, but gets out of trouble. Gets it over to Burns. It's non-stop football here in this grand final. As Thompson once more comes through, beats it towards the grandstand, close to the line, and in comes Griffiths to take the mark. Darryl Griffiths taking the mark right here in front of the member stand. Darryl Griffiths, I feel, could have been swung into the play a little bit more by Claremont in this quarter, as he kicks towards a right half-forward flank, taken by Tully. Tully quickly onto the boot, towards Evans to fall. Oh, that great mark by Gary Malarkey. Playing very well in the full-back line, this young fellow. Gary Malarkey relieved on many occasions. They have plenty of confidence after that kick out of bounds early. Boots it with the breeze towards the centre wing. Hines can't mark it. Picked up by John Burns. Burns boots it towards half-forward. Thompson's in the way. And David Thompson boots Claremont out of trouble, back towards the centre wing. Big backup players, nobody can mark it. Bridgewood coming in, showing plenty of pace. Socket it off the ground, and a good socket. Gets it up to full forward towards Crisp. Crisp got open territory in front of me. Boot towards full forward. Evans is high there, can't mark it. Bovell's there, runs into trouble, gets out of it. Bovell onto the bench. A kick towards the full forward area. Ken Deitz can't mark it in the right full forward pocket, and it's gone out of play. What a passage of play there.
There's a strong passage of play by both sides too, I thought. East Perth tightened up very quickly. They looked a bit loose for a while, but they certainly picked up their players. Bradley Smith pushes his opponent out, but gets away with it. Ball comes to the ground on this occasion. Oh, they're going in nice and tight and nice and viciously here, and John Thurman decides to bounce the ball, I think. Yes, it bounced down in the Claremont's forward pocket. Crisp wins the knock, Crisp. East Perth, there in abundance. McKelgic playing a great game at centre half-back. Kicks across the ground. Vernon sprints over. Ball hits him in the chest, and the greasy ball bounced through his arms, and he suckers it over line and out of bounds. Wayne Reynolds going for the knock, but young Martin wins the tap down on this occasion. Free kick going the way of Claremont. Round the next is John Thurman. Vernon Orr looking for a teammate in Peter Hines. Long way out from goal. Peter Hines goes to play on. Straight towards the full forward position. Oh, beautiful back play by East Perth there. Punched the ball away to Malarkey, fighting for the ball on the ground. Picks it up. Judges the ball beautifully then. Drew a player to him and went on with it. McKelgic. Oh, lovely mark by McKelgic. Well timed. Over to Gillespie. Use his pace to break clear. Was tripped, but the umpire says play on once again. McKelgic backs up magnificently. Goes for the punt kick under pressure. Tully's underneath it. Fails to go on with it. Dennis Marshall to Duperuzal. Duperuzal kicks the ball wildly, and it's over the line and out of bounds right in front of the member stand.
Well, certainly there's no place for the faint-hearted out there. There's plenty of pressure football and plenty of play on football. As the ball is thrown into the half-forward flank, Whittle trying to get it out. In comes John Burns, showing plenty of pace there. Over to captain coach Malcolm Brown. Gets his boot behind it. Boots it up towards John Daniel. He can't mark it. Out comes Alexander. Hot on his hammer is Lewis. Very close to the line there on the left half-forward flank for East Perth.
Daniel gets a free kick around the neck.
And certainly the front man being paid here by John Thurman this afternoon, and both sides must wake up to this, is John Daniel, the big centre half-forward, to take the kick on the left half-forward flank. It's a long way out of goals. He's kicking into this cross breeze, which is going to make it pretty difficult. John Daniel gives the ball plenty of air, puts it towards full forward. Flyers high in the air, nobody can take it, and it's thumped through by David Mill for 1 point to the Royal Blues. They move to 38 points, 5 goals, 8-38. Lead Claremont 3-5-23. This could easily be the quarter where East Perth might win it. There's the siren. The siren, half-time here in the 1972 Grand Final. East Perth leading 5 goals, 8-38. Claremont 3-5-23. Quarter event commenced by umpire Thurman for the 1972 Grand Final. 5-8 East Perth 38, lead Claremont 3-5-23.
A couple of quick changes, Bob. Carroll going to centre half forward and Moss to full forward for Claremont.
Yes, could be good moves by the Claremont Tigers, by Verdon Hale, to try and get a bit of stability into his attack. There's the bounce down. Macaulay trying to pick it up in the centre of the ground. Carroll using plenty of weight there. Out it goes to Duperuzal, having a lot of trouble picking it up. Backed up by Carroll. Over goes Carroll, but no kick. And umpire Furman is going to bounce it down between the right centre wing and right half forward for the Claremont side. Rain still falling here at league headquarters, has done so for most of the second quarter as Macaulay boots it back towards the centre of the ground. Nobody can take a clean mark. Picked up by Vernon Orr, an opportunist this fellow. Boots it out towards left half forward. Martin first in the race to the ball. Gets it back to McKelgic. McKelgic, the biggest kick getter on the ground at the moment, had 16 kicks to half time. Boots it up towards half forward, but nobody can take the mark. Parkinson trying to come out with the ball. Umpire Furman says, I'll have it. We'll bounce it down right here in front of the member stand. A packed crowd here, around about 40,000 people watching this 1972 grand final. John Evans running on the ball at the moment. Bovell trying to come through, taken by Parkinson. Plenty of these Perth players in defence, and taken by Malcolm Brown. Pull without the ball, and Brown showing plenty of restraint there. Received a bit of treatment. Coming back now to take his kick, and he's gone towards the outer side with the kick. Looking for Macaulay. Underneath, a good, well-judged mark there by Ken Macaulay, left centre wing. East Perth going into attack. A short pass over to Gary Gillespie, making the short lead, and he takes the mark left half forward flank. Gary Gillespie, great little player this fellow, boots it up towards centre half forward. Not many players home for East Perth. Thomas misses an easy one. It's at centre half forward for the Royals. Jim Thomas moves Claremont out of trouble. Taken by Bridgewood. A good hand pass to the outer side. Finds Dennis Marshall. Marshall gets his boot behind the ball. Boots it towards the half-forward line. Carroll's up but can't take the mark. But in the meantime, a free kick going to East Perth. John Hayes on the half-back line.
John Hayes, half-back flank at the moment for East Perth. Goes for the big kick, big high punt kick. Darryl Griffiths camped underneath it. Pushed out of the way. Vernon Orr's quick to pick up the ball from the ground. Bovell on his left foot. Was the full forward position. Flies quite high, but Chris judges the ball magnificently and marks it about 30 metres out from goal.
Who's the only one that stayed down, I think, Marty?
Only one who stayed down. It's very easy to say they should kick these goals, but the conditions are not good. It's blowy and it's greasy and the ball's wet throughout. So it has to be good timing and drop the ball to the foot correctly. Here he goes. So he did just all those things, and it's a goal to Crisp and a goal to Claremont, brings them a little bit closer, bridging the gap slightly.
That's 2 goals. John Crisp has kicked the Claremont now and doing a pretty good job on the half-forward flank. I think that Claremont can, well, get right back into this game, perhaps get on top if they can use the breeze in this quarter and kick the ball as long as they possibly can.
East Perth 5 goals 8, Claremont 4 goals 5 at the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. From the tap down, Bovell's quick to pick the ball up, goes on his left foot. Malcolm Brown tries to smother the ball. Picked up by Macaulay. Picked up well, too, in these greasy conditions. Thompson tries to read the play. Fails to hold the ball. Dennis Marshall's in there. Scrambles out with the ball. Lewis hand passes out to Bygraves. Bygraves lines the goals up. And he spears it through. A goal to East Perth. Well done by Bygraves. Running in fast and puts East Perth another 6-pointer.
A good play by David Whittle there, Marty, too, to not attempt to pick it up. The big fellow socket it along on the ground and let the smaller man in Bygraves, who's closer to the ground, pick it up. There's Gary Bygraves. You'll see on your screen, he's kicked 2 goals for East Perth now and been a pretty handy player.
Certainly a great opportunity. 6-8-44 East Perth, 4-5-29 Claremont. A very handy goal to East Perth, going towards the Subiaco end of the goals against the breeze. Ruck duels are pretty even as Darryl Griffiths boots it down towards half-forward. Macaulay showing stacks of judgment. Tassie medalist gets it up towards the half-forward line, but Crisp can't get it away. A scramble in the centre of the ground. Out comes John Hayes with the ball. A long kick towards centre half-forward. Dumped away there by the Claremont defenders. And a bad mistake there allowed. Bygraves in again under the beat.
Got another one.
Second one. 3 goals to Bygraves, and East Perth machine working well at the moment.
East Perth want to win this grand final. It's quite noticeable. Players showing much more determination than they have in the past. Players such as Teeny, who has been a little bit hit and miss, but certainly today, and Bygraves also in the last 5 minutes there, he's running right on the forward line. A small man, quick on his feet, nimble, moving around. These wet conditions, ideal for a player of Bygrave's calibre.
Jack, the tenacity of the way that Ken McCauley come through there. Nothing stopped him from getting that
He's
ball.
first off the mark, McCauley.
There's the bounce down again. Umpire John Furman setting the game in motion, and John Alexander gets the ball to Verstigan. Up it goes again towards the Royals half-forward line. Taken by Dennis Marshall. He's all the trouble in the world. Holding the ball. Unfortunately for Clement.
Bygrave's playing on again.
And Bygrave's
And another one.
a couple of minutes. He's
Got another one.
3 minutes to Gary Bygraves, and could this turn the tide to win the premiership for East Perth? Well played by East Perth. Well played, Gary Bygraves.
Back in the middle of the ground, we see Hayes, Brown, Alexander, John Burns, all urging one another on, patting one another on the back, saying this is our day.
It's certainly a great team effort by the Royal Blues, and they move to 8-8. They're kicking against the breeze. 56, Claremont 4-5, 29.
Bygrave certainly leading Thomas a dance from the bounce down. Evans flies high. Carroll's quick to pick the ball up. The umpire says...
I thought he was going to give Holden the ball, Marty.
I did for a moment.
Dennis Marshall over on the Bygraves now.
Good move. Might be a little bit late, but he's done it. Hayes doing a power of work from the ruck. Quick to get the ball off the ground to McKelgic. Hello, a little bit of a punch on going behind the play here. And John Furman gives the ball to Darryl Griffiths for obvious infringement behind the play. Darryl Griffiths in the centre now for Claremont. Claremont have got to get back into this game and get back quickly with the breeze behind them. A long kick by Griffiths. Hines flies high. The Deeds judges the ball beautifully and takes a strong test mark in front of Peter Hines. High in the air, and Verstigan's underneath the ball. Well spoiled by Vernon Orr, but Craigomini picks the ball up. Hand passes to Verstigan. Verstigan back to Martin, who backed up beautifully. That's their game, East Perth. They're backing up well. To Phil Teeny, who takes a mark overhead. Looks for John Daniel.
Brilliant football.
Beautiful football. Beautifully marked here by Whittles. And
Whittle, yeah.
Whittle it is in the forward pocket for East Perth. East Perth complete command at the moment. They're confident. They're playing with tons of determination. They're going in for the ball. Their desire is to get the ball. Bad kick by Whittle. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, that ball never touched the ground from the time Ken Baird's got it, Marty, at the full-back pocket.
Beautiful ball handling by East Perth. No one fumbled throughout in that segment of play from the kick-in. Dennis Marshall kicks towards the wing. Verstigan underneath it. Hand pass to Verstigan. He's in everything at the moment. Verstigan on his left foot, shooting for goal. Offline. And over the line and out of bounds once again. Deep into the forward pocket for East Perth. East Perth doing it very well at the moment. Kicking into the breeze, and the rain is falling, but everything is against them at the moment, but they're certainly well on top of Claremont from the throw-in. Players go to the ground. The scrimmage develops. Parkinson comes out, but the umpire says a free kick and trip from holding the leg or on the leg, whatever it might be, in favour of Parkinson, the Claremont rover. Claremont have got to get moving very quickly. Not enough players doing enough, Jack.
No, Claremont, I haven't sighted Du Peruzal. Moss just come onto the ball. He was at full forward. They've brought him on now. And there he is. I said I haven't seen him. He's got a mark.
And he took a good one. He grabbed that one, Big Moss. The big fellas have got to do more because Claremont are getting beaten around the packs. He looks for Vernon Orr. Vernon Orr goes to ground. Gets up. He's tackled very high, and the umpire says holding the man. Vernon Orr on the wing for Claremont. Plays on. Up towards the centre half forward position. All East Perth there. Bradley Smith under it. Fails to get it. Chris quickly to his foot to Peter Hines. Two Claremont players here. Peter Hines goes to ground, but Deards is doing it well. Keeping the ball in front of him. He goes to ground now and it's over the line and out of bounds. Full marks to young Deards in the back pocket.
Yeah, very courageous. Just shows the luck of the game. A great chance there for the Tigers. But two of them there and they couldn't pick it up. In the forward pocket now for Claremont. Chris trying to work his way through. Can't do so. Very tight defence there by East Perth as Rob Armanasco, but it's out of play. 8-8 East Perth, 56, and they've kicked 3 goals and we're into the 9-minute mark. Claremont 4-5-29, they've kicked 1 goal since half-time.
Notice Tully doing a little bit of ballet dancing down there, and Marty certainly didn't want the ball. It's the time to get in and get the ball on a day like today. You can't be around the outside looking for it.
This is so. He hasn't been doing much else other than that, Jack.
Bradley Smith shovels it out now. Ken McCauley gets it. Plenty of tenacity by the East Perth players. Rob Armanasco trying to pick it up. He's well backed up. He's taken another knockout there, young Armanasco. Plenty of trouble. He's collapsed in the ground now as the ball's gone back to John Hayes to have his kick. Rob Armanasco, there you can see the trainer. Plenty of trouble out there. As the ball's gone up towards the flank, nobody can pick it up cleanly. Gillespie, what a great player this young fellow is, or young fellow I should say, but he's played well all year, and once again playing well. As umpire Furman says, it's a bounce down on the half-forward flank for Claremont. There's Rob Armanasco in the hands of two trainers. He's taking a little bit of punishment today. Claremont kicking once more towards the flank, but they're a little bit ragged at the moment. A good bruising bump there as the ball's gone out of play. Lindsay Carroll trying to inject a bit of life into this forward line, which is flagging since half-time. Alexander on the ball, taken by Macaulay. The umpire couldn't see that one. A couple of kicks there, and the ball's gone out of play between right half and right full forward for the Claremont Tigers. Crispin there, battling with Alexander. East Perth winning all the ruck duels at the moment, but there's a free kick going away from Claremont. Now it's Alexander of East Perth. He's going to take the kick on the half-back line.
Big Alexander, East Perth on the half-back flank. East Perth very strong in defence at the moment, and doing it well also on the attacking side. Picked up by Claremont, kicked high into the centre of the ground, and underneath it is McKelsick. What a brilliant player he is. Very fast and good overhead. Kelsick looking for his teammate and Verstigan. Verstigan dummies around his player, but is trapped nicely by Thomas on this occasion. Holding the ball, and rightly so.
Good play by Thomas and bad play by Verstigan. Had the chance of about 3 East Perth players in the forward line to give it to then.
Carroll flies high, but McKelsick behind the pack picks up the ball again. He'll lose one player, dummies around him beautifully. Finds Verstigan again. Goes through Verstigan hands. Thomas trying to burst through the pack. The umpire says a throw in. Big Bradley Smith pushed out Graham Moss. A free kick going to Graham Moss right in front of the stand.
Verstigan in trouble.
Verstigan in trouble. There's 2 Rovers in trouble at the moment. They can't afford to lose them, although they're well ahead. A long kick by Graham Moss. Duperousel flies miles too early. Tully, who hasn't been sighted much throughout, in control of the ball, but is doing it well. Tully on this occasion was unlucky he wasn't given a free kick. But John Thurman says it's mine. On the bounce down, John Crisp, Alexander, plays to Fragamini. Fragamini goes high in the air and is out of bounds on the full. Graham Moss will take the resultant kick in. Big Moss. As for the punt kick, underneath it is Macaulay. Comes to ground. Tully's in there, keeping the ball in front of him. Shovels it on, but little Flea Gillespie, ever alert, picks up the ball and shoots it to Johnny Burns in the centre of the oval. Burns goes high towards the centre half forward position. Thomas is underneath the ball. Does it well, and the umpire pays for a penalty for interference. He hit right across the face. Thomas coming to life a little bit. Half forward. Parkinson fails to hold the greasy ball. Picked up by Whittle. Driven back with Wayne Reynolds in there. Taps the ball ahead of him. Must pick it up on a wet day like this. Bill Taney. Oh, he's met strongly by Darryl Griffiths, and Darryl Griffiths is still there. Playing the ball ahead of him, and he shovels the ball out of bounds right in front of the men. Now it's back in play. Young Martin, a brilliant half-back flanker for East Perth. Hand passes to Burns. He's tackled strongly. Great pressure at the moment. Big Mossy went to kick the ball and decided against it.
Well, look at Griffiths in trouble here, Marty.
Griffiths has got one.
Oh, he's in trouble. Look at Darryl
He's in
Griffiths.
pain in your picture there. Darryl Griffiths has copped the real beauty.
There's play still going on the left centre wing. Is Claremont in plenty of trouble now. They don't seem to have a spearhead out there. Verstigan, tons of courage up towards the half-ball line, and the ever reliable John Lewis. He's been one of Claremont's best players. There you saw Darryl Griffiths.
Griffiths off the ground, I think, Bob. They've taken him off, and it's he's done a collarbone.
Well, certainly bad luck for Claremont and Darryl Griffiths. They're in plenty of trouble at the moment as the ball goes towards the centre wing, and the free kick going away on Claremont.
Greenwood.
Bob Greenwood coming on now. And replaced for Griffiths, and Claremont going into attack through Evans. Evans is over the half-forward line, about 55 metres out. Onto the boot, there's a good torpedo punt kick. It's a beautiful kick. Is this one going to lift the Claremont Tigers? The Claremont supporters hope so, and a good goal from the boot of John Evans.
Well, this is what Claremont want, Bob. They badly needed something to lift them, and perhaps that goal of Evans could do the trick. John Evans started off very well early in the game, but has faded out, and I'm sure Claremont are looking for him to do something now on the ball. They want strength. They want a bit of fire into them.
We're at the 14-minute mark. East Perth 8-8-56. Lead Claremont 5-5-35. And umpire Furman is going to rebounce to the centre. And there's a box on right in the middle of the ground. Play getting tough out there.
Free kick against Evans for throwing his arms around there. Wasn't actually a box on Bob. He was only getting a little bit peeved, I think.
There's 15 yards awarded. Players getting heated now as this grand final. There must be a victor, of course, and there must be a loser, and both sides want to be the victor. There's David Whittle now coming in, boots him into attack, and it's a good kick against the breeze, up towards full forward. Nobody can pick it up. Here's a chance now for East Perth. Erskine is showing plenty of courage, but right in the line is the ever reliable Lewis to take that mark and stop us that goal. Well played, John Lewis. Been a tower of strength in the back line for Claremont. They certainly need more players like him. John Lewis waits no time and boots a long booming kick out towards half back. Malcolm Brown pooches back, looking for Tierney, and Tierney using the body well, gets right behind the greasy ball, and Tierney takes the mark at centre half forward. Well, we've seen some great wet weather football by East Perth in this quarter. They slammed on 3 goals in 3 minutes, and they're well in front at the moment. They're 22 points in front as the ball from Tierney goes towards full forward. Nobody can mark it cleanly. Out it goes towards the flank. David Mills showing plenty of pace. With him is John Daniels, picked up by David Thompson. Goes over to Bridgewood. Bridgewood's in trouble. Doesn't know what to do with it. The decision is holding the man. A little bit lucky, I think, as John Bridgewood takes the kick and boots Claremont out of trouble.
Lucky to get that one all right. Burns drops one that he should have taken on his chest. Greenwood's in there. The umpire says a free kick to Crisp. Big Crisp for Claremont. And passes to Dennis Marshall, practically in the centre of the ground. Dennis Marshall goes for the long punt kick. Underneath it is Duperuzal using his body well, but Martin's quick to pick up the crumbs. Martin, the half-back flanker, shovels it out to Fragamini. He's under the hammer. But East Perth backing up magnificently. They're going in 2s and 3s. Free kick in the back in favour of Malarkey. Out to Malcolm Brown, the captain and coach for East Perth. No one within 60 metres of him. Bob Greenwood walks in at a half pace to intercept, but Moss punches the ball away. Picked up here by Claremont, the long punt kick in towards us. But East Perth everywhere, and Ken McCauley, the ever reliable Ken McCauley, takes a strong chest mark, has plenty of time to go around and look for a teammate. Vernon Orr flies high, fails to hold it. Tully's in there, endeavouring to pick up the ball, but Thomas does just this. East Perth everywhere is a forward position. It's Deeds who finds a teammate here. Armin Asco, who's copped a bit throughout this game. Armin Asco has got off the floor twice, and he's done it quite well. Armin Asco going to along the wing. Whittle's in there fighting for the ball. Picks it up just before it goes on the boundary line. Towards the centre half forward position, well placed by Whittle. Young Mill it is, ran about 25 yards and got away with it. Kicks the ball towards the centre of the ground. Malcolm Brown is there, shovels off his chest. On the ground, pushes it out to a teammate, but picked up quickly by Duperuzal. Hasn't been sighted quite enough. Duperuzal goes, kicks it high in the air. Hines spoils his opponent here, picked up by Carroll. Held it for a long time. The umpire says play on there like ants around a honeypot at this moment. And the free kick goes in favour of John Hayes. What for, Jack Sheedy?
I don't know. I think evidently Carroll did something to Hayes after he was coming up off the ground. A bit of a push, I think, but Furman didn't like it at all and awarded the kick to Hayes.
Well, East Perth have banded themselves together across this half-back line in this quarter, and they're playing with a well-knit defence, and they're playing team football. And this is one thing that's got Claremont rattled.
Bob, there's about 3 East Perth to 1 of Claremont each time. They're certainly combining very well.
That's for sure, Jack. I've seen some tenacity in players during the year, but this East Perth side at the moment, and Claremont will certainly have to do something to get back into this game. There's John Evans hitting the ball towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Buzz Parkinson. Puts it on quickly under the bench. A good shot from Parkinson up the road, full forward. A great mark from Peter Hines. Peter Hines had his eyes on the ball all the way. He's right in the square there, as you can see, and Peter Hines went out of the game a little bit halfway through that second quarter. Now he's got a chance to put another major on the board for the Claremont Tigers, and boy, do they need it. They're 22 points behind at the moment at the 18-minute mark as Hines goes back to have his kick. No mistake about this one, and Claremont moved to 6-5, East Perth 8-9.
First goal that Hines has kicked so far today started off very well on a half-back line, and now playing on the ball. Claremont need players like Hines. They want Tully to lift his game for sure. I would say I'd try and get Marshall, if I was Howell, into the game somehow. Experienced, strong players. That's what Claremont need at the moment.
Very bad luck for Claremont that Darryl Griffiths, one of their best players, has gone off the ground. There you saw Peter Hines running back to the centre. Can he lift this flagging ruck that East Perth have taken control in this quarter? The biggest goal kicker on the ground at the moment is Bargoes with 4 and a brilliant burst of 3 in this quarter. There's the rucks going there. Alexander opposed to Evans. A good hit from Alexander, but goes to or it was, out towards the left centre wing. Hines in there trying to shovel the ball out, but Waikamini's got plenty of pace. Up and goes to the half-forward flank, Jim Thomas. Young Jim Thomas playing in his first grand final. He's in plenty of trouble out there. He tried to get rid of it, says the umpire, and the ball's still on the half-forward flank for his spell. Oh, look at the rough and tumble going in there. Till finally John Thurman comes in and says, I'll bounce it down on the half-forward flank. Well, Malcolm Brown using his rucks pretty well at the moment. He's bringing himself in, he's bringing Alexander in, he's switching around, keeping them all fresh. That ball goes to Tierney. He can't get rid of it. John Evans does. Hines finally picks it up, puts it towards the centre. John Bridgewood can't mark it. It's pretty greasy out there, but he quickly recovers. And John Bridgewood gets the ball towards the centre half forward position. John Chris shovels it over to Dave Marisel. There's Carroll sitting in the square. Carroll called for the ball. He was, Wayne Reynolds it was, called for the ball. He had no one within 30 metres of him. Dave Marisel elected to have a shot, and it's gone out of play. Well, that's how the Monts are playing at the moment. They're not doing it very well.
Bad play by Dave Marisel.
Shocking, great opportunity, teamwork there. Dave Marisel trying to recover and get back into it, but not good enough.
McKelzey quick to get the ball out of danger. Towards the centre of the ground. Peter Hines playing like a rover, trying to get down to the ball. Doesn't come up to him, fail to handle it, but Thomas is in there throwing himself on the ground recklessly. East Perth backing up well. Hand pass to Burstick, he's gone, he's trapped. The umpire says a penalty free kick. Over the neck, over the back. He's given a free kick in favour of Hans Burstick in the centre half forward position for East Perth. Playing with tons of confidence and determination, East Perth at the moment. Burstick looking for a teammate here. Finds him in John Hayes. Fails to hold the ball. Oh, he gave it. There would have been a free kick in favour of Claremont, but Hayes quick to recover. Goes on his left foot towards the full forward position. Punched away by East Perth. Picked up by Daniels of East Perth, the centre half forward. Playing well here, Daniels, in full control of the ball, shoots it on his left foot, has a bang at goals and slightly offline, and 1 point to East Perth.
Could have easily been a click to Claremont there, Jack.
Yes, I think Thurman allowed it to go on because the player looked like he was could have been holding the ball, but was 50-50. The player did hang on a little bit too long. A bad kick out by John Lewis there, and the ball's out of bounds and will be thrown in.
Well, Claremont not taking many tricks at the moment, and finally their fullback John Lewis, who's played a good game up there, played 72 games for the Tigers and also played a few games with Hawthorn, but he's kicked that ball out of play to be taken in by Ron Alexander. There's Ron Alexander right half forward flank. A big fellow doing quite well on the ball today. There's his kick. It's a long one towards full forward. Right into the square it goes. Nobody can take a clean mark. Lewis once again breaking away, gets the Monts out of trouble towards the far flank. Gillespie out there, played a great game on the wing. Gillespie showing plenty of pace. Bridgewood's with him, but the ball's beaten both players out of play. Left half forward flank for the Royals. 8-10 East Perth 58, 6-5 41 Claremont. The 23-minute mark in the third quarter of this 72 grand final. Back it comes to John Burns, weaving and ducking, gets out of trouble, showing plenty of pace. There's no ankle injury there as Burns kicks a good one towards full forward. Oh, Will Judge marked to Phil Tierney. Phil Tierney, well, showing plenty of courage on the half-forward flank today. He's about 50 metres out, 50 to 55. He's kicking into a cross breeze. Let's see what he can do with this one. Phil Tierney over the bed, a terrific kick, but it's drifting offline and through for the minor score. And East Perth certainly got all the play at the moment.
East Perth 8 goals 11, leading Claremont 6 goals 5 at the 24-minute mark into the quarter, the third quarter. Lewis to take the kick in. High punt kick, getting plenty of distance. Tully's camped underneath it. Ridgewood quick to the ball. Cannot pick the greasy ball up. Finally shakes off his opponent. Gets his kick in. Now it's nicely smothered here by East Perth. Oh, determined play here by Burns. Hand passed by Malcolm Brown back to Burns. Burns going to the centre half forward position, looking for a teammate here. They fly high, but the ball comes to the ground. Tierney fighting desperately for the ball. He's been manhandled. Umpire says play on. In goes John Evans, very strongly, but John Thurman says I'll have it, and the bounce down at the centre half forward position for East Perth. Whittle, Alexander, Evans. East Perth win the knock. Hand pass to Burns. Burns dummies around his opponent. Gillespie's camped on a short one. Marks decides to go on, looks for centre half forward, and Daniels. Daniels takes a chest mark. East Perth getting away from their back men much too easily. John Daniels elects to kick the long kick in towards goal, but Phil Tierney
doing it easy.
Doing it well too, Jack Sheedy. Phil Tierney, 55 metres out, directly in front.
This is ironical. I don't think Phil Tierney, Brown would have played Phil Tierney if it rained, and he's doing a terrific job in the forward line.
Doing well in this weather, there's no question about that. Phil Tierney lining it up. Long kick. Looks good. The teeth of goals. Players contesting it. Goes to ground.
Well done.
Oh, the umpire's given a bounce down prior to this, someone kicking a goal here.
I think I thought for a moment he's going to give the kick to Whittles for a mark, but Whittle got to his feet and caught it on and kicked a goal, but umpire Furman elected to bounce it.
In the goal square. A lot of shepherding and buffeting going on down there. The ball goes to the ground once again. John Furman takes the ball and bounces it again right in the goal square for East Perth. Picked up here by Bygraves it was. Had the snapshot. 1 point resulting.
By Cowboy Bygraves. He certainly loves those snapshots. He's kicked 4 goals today. Had a brilliant first, as we said before, in the first few minutes of this quarter. And now East Perth doing well at the moment. Claremont looking a little bit rattled. Can they come back? Well, the Tigers have been a good side all the year, and they're certainly not beaten yet. And the ball to be thrown in right half forward flank for Claremont. Here's the throw in. Moss from Alexander. Evans from the back, but they can't seem to get any system into their side. Out it comes to Greenwood. Taps it onto Duberuzal. Bruce Duberuzal kicks it over towards the half-forward line, looking for Parkinson. Parkinson, though, he takes a good one. Quickly recovers. Quickly onto the boot, beating it towards full forward. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Wayne Reynolds playing full forward at the moment. Hasn't kicked many goals, this fellow. Great opportunity, but he can't pick it up. And Gary Gillespie, ever reliable, but he hasn't got them out of trouble. Bridgewood's come back with the ball, but it's out of play, right full forward pocket. Well, Claremont, they've had opportunities in the forward line when their players have been unattended, but they can't pinpoint the ball. As East Perth have done early in this quarter, now the ball's to be thrown in. Big Bradley Smith, number 20 in there. Crisps, 17 opposed to him. There's the 2 big fellows high in there. Over the back of the pack's a good knock.
What a bad shot.
By Greenwood, I think, was it?
Yes.
Good goal. Bobby Greenwood coming on as reserve. And perhaps that goal can lift the flagging spirits of the Claremont Tigers.
Bob, I was about to say a moment ago, the difference between the two sides at the moment is that East Perth, when they get the ball, are looking for a teammate to give it to in the best position possible, where Claremont haphazard in their kicking. They get it and kick it anywhere, hoping that, Justice will play a part and one of their players will get it. That's perhaps Greenwood's goal there can get them back that teamwork that they so desperately desire at this moment.
26-minute mark, third quarter, 8-12-60 East Perth, 7-5-47. Claremont, and John Lewis has missed it. Up it goes towards full forward. But good defence there by Claremont. Get it out towards Jim Thomas. He screws it back towards the centre position. Bovell can't mark it, but Moss comes in. Claremont coming to attack again. Give it over to Vernon Orr. There's a kick towards Carroll. Oh, and it's dumped out of play. No, it's not. Yes, it's finally gone out of bounds in that left full forward pocket. Good bit of play there by Claremont to bring that ball down between left half and left full forward. Now time running out for the Tigers. They want another goal before three-quarter time. Moss gets on there, but he can't get it. Carroll shovels it out. Onto the boot goes Chris. Up towards full forward. A chance once more for Wayne Reynolds. He stumped it back into play. But once more, it's forced out of play by the East Perth defence. A very strong East Perth defence and a very determined East Perth defence in this quarter. There's the throwing. Bradley Smith and Crisp once more. Crisp gets a good hit out. Umpire Furman says held to him. He's going to bounce the ball about 20 metres out from the Claremont goal. 29-minute mark, third quarter. Malcolm Brown got a lot of players camped around the ball there to try and stop this goal before three-quarter time. Claremont equally determined to get it. There goes a big rough one. Bradley Smith coming out with the ball but can't clear it. Picked up in the pocket there by John Hayes. He puts it out towards the flank, and underneath it is Moss. And yes, well, that's the mark was made before to Bygraves East Perth, and that's exactly the same thing. Graham Moss has been awarded that mark on the right half forward flank. Oh, he's 55, a good 60 metres out. He's going for the short pass. It's not a good short pass, but it's picked up by Greenwood. Greenwood onto the left boot. Towards the full forward area, but they can't mark it. Look at this East Perth defence. They're everywhere at the moment. The Larky's in plenty of trouble. He's holding the ball. Or is he?
Yes, he's played it.
John Furman, he hasn't signified anything yet. Yes, he has. He's holding the ball. And the kick is going to full forward Lindsay Carroll. And Claremont, do they need this goal? There's the siren. Oh, what a climax. Lindsay Carroll coming back now. 25 metres out, practically in front. All eyes on Lindsay Carroll. What a moment for him. He has a shot.
And the ship.
But it's through. And the score, 8-5. 53 Claremont at three-quarter time. East Perth, 8-12-60. And a great third quarter here at league headquarters. Headquarters with only 7 points of difference in favour of East Perth. They're kicking with the breeze. They're going to attack towards a half-forward line. A good mark there to Dennis Marshall coming in to take that mark. Dennis Marshall played 174 games for Claremont and 84 for Geelong. Gives it out to Bruce Duperizal, the skipper. Up towards John Bridgewood. Hasn't seen much of this fella today, but he plays well to get this one up towards the half-forward line.
Silly football. Bad football there by Hines, Bob. He came in and had the opportunity of a good bump with Alexander, but raised the elbow. Furman was watching him. A good forward move that Claremont were making has come undone through a silly free kick.
Yes, John Furman hasn't missed much behind the play, and there's a good kick towards half-forward. Nobody can take the mark. In comes Bergingen. What a courageous player this young fellow is. Up it goes towards full forward. No play can get a clean hit out. Here's Cowboy Bygroves, but he can't get his foot to the ball. Scramble in the left full forward pocket, and it's gone out of play. Well, to three-quarter time, East Perth had 52 marks and Claremont 32, so you can see the ascendancy that East Perth have had in the air. Throw in left full forward pocket. The crowd tense, the players tense, everyone tense. Who's going to get the first goal in the 1972 grand final? It comes out towards the flank, and it's gone out of play once more.
Armanasco went off at three-quarter time and has been replaced by Laurie McPherson, who is playing in the forward pocket and changed roving.
Bad luck for Rob Armanasco, but he's played well. Malcolm Brown gets it over to Versigan. Versigan on the boot, but it's touched. Goes down towards full forward. Thomas can't mark it. David Mills in there backing him up. Plenty of pressure on these players out there. Back it comes to Jim Thomas, having trouble out there on the half-back flank. In comes John Daniel. John Daniel gets his foot to the ball. Beautiful kick from Daniel. And that puts East Perth further ahead. Played well, John Daniel.
Yes, a good mark, Bob. A good kick from Daniel, I should say. Broke through the pack there. Very strong player. Big fellow. There he is in your screen, Daniel. Playing at centre-half forward. Hasn't been outstanding all day, but he's been quite serviceable to the East Perth side. But that goal certainly will spur him on to greater things.
9-12-66 East Perth, 8-5, 53 Claremont. And the biggest kick getter on the ground to three-quarter time would be Richard McKelchick with 19 kicks. There it comes, Malcolm Brown getting it up again towards the half-forward line. Dennis Marshall can't mark it. Oh, brilliant play by Gillespie. Can Gillespie kick a goal off the side of his boot towards full forward? Wayne Reynolds in front, well backed up by John Lewis. John Lewis played well in the back line, this fellow. Well shepherded there by Jim Thomas. And John Lewis gets the Tigers out of trouble. Up it goes towards the left centre wing, but plenty of East Perth play. Oh, 2 players clash there. I can feel that one from here. No place for the faint-hearted out there. The ball goes to the centre of the ground. Malcolm Brown's lurking around there. Kicks it back towards the full-forward area. Teeny, some tired players out there as they battle to lift their legs. McPherson picks it up. Beats it towards full forward. And Whittle. David Whittle using his body well there. A great battle between Wayne Reynolds and David Whittle. Whittle has taken the ball right full forward pocket. Only about 15 metres out on a very acute angle. Well, this could be a deciding goal, this one. East Perth 66, lead Claremont 53. They're 13 points in front. David Whittle. Look at it. Look at the tenseness on his face as David Whittle comes back to have a shot. What's he done with it? 1 point. And East Perth go to 14-point lead.
And he led at this stage, East Perth, and doing it confidently and desperately. No, not 1 ounce of relenting on behalf of the East Perth side. They're a very determined side at the moment. Claremont have got to do something to lift their game, to give each and every player a little bit of confidence. A short pass out to Lewis. Lewis goes for the one kick towards the centre of the ground. Oh, Tully throws the ball away completely. Typical of his game throughout the day. Tully's endeavouring to come redeem himself this time. Does so. Gets the ball, kicks it at centre-half forward position. Punched away by Claremont. Buzz Parkinson taps the ball ahead but can't get it past Macaulay. Macaulay's tackled strongly. Back to Parkinson. Parkinson lines it up and kicks it towards the goal, but Dares is camped underneath it. Back pocket player for East Perth has one bounce, touches the ground, and relieving kick finds Vernon Orr, but he drops the ball. Dropped one that he definitely should have taken. paddling the ball in front of him. McPherson is tackled strongly and thrown to the ground. John Thurman says, I'll have the ball, and it's a bounce down in the deep into the forward pocket for the Claremont side. Claremont must score and score very shortly to get back into this game. Parkinson's tackled. Thrown to the ground, but once again John Thurman says it's going to be a bounce down. John Thurman did quite a good job throughout. Has been on the game, up with the play. Punchdown picked up by Bovell. Bovell's kick is smothered. Over the line and out of bounds once again. Deep in the forward pocket for East Perth. From the throw-in. Alexander sets himself against Evans. Picked up by Crisp. Hand pass to East Perth. Duperuzal moves in quickly on his left foot. Has a shot. Malaki's underneath it. And through for 1 point to Claremont.
5-minute mark, final quarter.
9-13. East Perth leading Claremont 8-6. From the kick in, Malaki. Malaki towards the centre position. Underneath it is Tully. Punches the ball down to Parkinson. Parkinson has a shot towards the centre of the goal, but Malaki, it is camped underneath it and takes a timely, strong mark. Doing a very good job, Malaki. In the fullback position. Malaki towards the centre of the ground. Hines is underneath it, loses the flight of the ball, but East Perth are quick to back up. Left foot by Phil Taney towards the centre half forward position. Underneath is Chris, but the ever-alert Hans Versticken is weaving and ducking and kicks it right snap over his shoulder. Two players wrestling strongly for the ball, and Whittle. Oh, David Mill tries to kick the ball out of danger. Thompson is there, relieves, and is dropping the ball, is it, Jack?
Holding the ball, Marty, against Whittle.
Free kick going to Wayne Reynolds. Out to Thomas. Thomas picks the ball up off the ground. Kicks wildly towards the centre of the ground. Big Malcolm Brown fails to hold the ball on this occasion. Bridgewood is shoveled out of the way by sheer power. The umpire sees a free kick over the neck in favour of Ken McCauley. Ken McCauley, the brilliant half-back flanker, centre half-back. You have it. You say it. He's got it. Ken McCauley. Looks for his teammate. Alexander it is. Alexander, they're playing keepings off at the moment and doing it quite well. He's doing it confidently, East Perth. 9-13 East Perth, Claremont 8-6 at the 7-minute mark into the final quarter of this grand final. Malcolm Brown's camped underneath the ball. Ball didn't make the distance. Mill kicks the ball off the ground to Bridgewood. Bridgewood out to Bob Greenwood. Greenwood cannot pick it up. Does so on the second bite, but it's brilliantly tackled by little Gary Gillespie. Does it beautifully, Gillespie. Ducks and dives and gets the ball out to his captain and coach, Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown kicks towards the centre half forward position. Underneath it is Moss. Fails to hold it. McPherson picks it up quickly. In comes Duperuzal. Onto his left foot, looking for his teammate and Byrne and all, but in chips Carl Fragamini. Fails to hold it. Burns, he comes in. He's tackled strongly. Pressure personified out there at the moment.
A typical grand final, Marty.
Real grand final stuff.
8 minutes into the final quarter, and it's a great quarter at the moment. As Claremont trying to force that ball forward to break this gap. It's on the half-forward line. Bobby Greenwood came on as reserve. Gets it out towards the flank to John Bridgewood. John Bridgewood having plenty of trouble. Alexander's there with him. Gary Gillespie. Nobody can pick it up. And the umpire, John Furman, coming in to bounce it down left half forward flank. Well, this is a typical grand final, and a big crowd here at League headquarters, thoroughly enjoying every moment of it. Graham Moss in there. Bruce Duperuzal. Duperuzal gets it up towards the centre wing, and it's out of bounds right here in front of the packed member stand.
Plenty of players on the ball, Bob. Not too many in positions. Everyone trying to do the little bit to get the flag for their side.
I think physical fitness, Jack, is going to play a very important part in this one. There the ball goes, up towards the centre wing. Bradley Smith, using that big bulk of his, gets it to Gillespie. Gillespie gives it to Malcolm Brown. This could be the decider. There goes the kick from Brown. The was ball forward and well marked Peter Hines. Well, this is good football by both sides. Out it goes to Jim Thomas. Jim Thomas is in a bit of trouble. Bygraves is there with him. John Lewis too. Well done, John Lewis. A great player, this fellow. Gets it up towards the left centre wing, and the ball's not out of play.
You're certainly right about John Lewis, Bob. He's doing a fantastic job in the full-back position. Punching the ball well, doing his groundwork is excellent under these conditions from the throw-in. At this 10-minute mark into the final quarter. Comes down, big Wayne Reynolds tries to burst himself through the pack, but fails to do so. And John Thurman says, holding the ball onto him on a bounce down. On the outside wing, back in the centre of the ground. On the bounce down. The players push it down to Burns. Fails to go in and meet the ball on this occasion, Burns. But he recovers quickly. Hand passes out to Versticken. Versticken gets it onto his right foot. A wonky old punt kick and goes out of bounds deep in the forward pocket. But no, it doesn't. Peter Hines intercepts. Pops one through on the way. Nice backhand to Peter Hines, but the umpire, I don't know what he's going to do here, Jack.
Free kick to Hines. No, I'd say it's going to East Perth. No, it can't be. I didn't think so. It wasn't possible. Hines' kick has got to be for sure.
It is.
Fair enough.
Well, Hines copped one, and physically, and the kick's going the other way. East Perth lining this one up.
Out of bounds on the full, possibly, Marty.
That's possible, so you would be right, Bob.
Well, I estimated the crowd at 44,490 before, but the official crowd is 44,500. I was 10 out, Jack. I didn't
You're a
see
wonder boy, Bob Miller.
Claremont using both rovers on the ball at the moment. I notice Diaz up in the back pocket on his own. The runner going out to bring probably Ken Diaz down more towards the centre line and try and cover up any breakthroughs that Claremont might try and get away with.
Dennis Marshall from the kick in. Punched away by East Perth very strongly. Oh, Big Moss punches it again. Picked up by McKeljic to Burns. Burns is grabbed, but has an attempt to get rid of it. Tully shovels the ball out to his teammate, but I think he's ruled a throw. While the players have a physical clash on the ground here, a bit of a wrestling and no harm done.
Tully gets the kick from a left hook.
A left hook, is it? Right. John, it's Tully with it. Long punt kick under these conditions, a good kick by Tully. But marked by Ken McCauley. What a danger player he is to the opposition. Reads the play well. McCauley going towards the centre of the ground. A high punt kick. Underneath it is Bridgewood. Fails to hold on this occasion. In comes Crisp, is it? Thompson it is. Thompson with the ball in front of him. This pushed in the back, but umpire says play on. Gillespie's tackled without the ball, and he's given around the neck and holding the man in favour of Gary Gillespie.
Marty, this next 5 minutes is going to decide this grand final.
Going to be 15 yards. It had to come. Bad play by Greenwood and Crisp there. Gives Gillespie a 15-yard penalty.
Have a look at the little muscle man, Jack, in your screen.
Great heart, this fellow.
There he goes. A high punt kick by Gillespie. Underneath is McPherson flies high. Picked up by Filtini. He's tackled very strongly by Lewis. Dennis Marshall's in the lead for the ball. Alexander picks up well. Turns like a little man. Goes for the snapshot, but she's over the line and out of bounds on the bull.
Well, East Perth clinging to a 13-point lead at the moment. We're at the 12-minute mark. East Perth 9-13-67. It's rain falling once more. Claremont 8-6-54. It's still anybody's game. And Claremont trying desperately to get back into it. It goes to John Daniels on the half-forward line. Here comes John Lewis. Some of those players are just about out on their feet out there, but they're not giving in. A good kick from Tully. Goes to Vernon Orr. Claremont are going into attack. Up towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Lindsay Carroll right out there on the flank.
Having a bit of trouble, Carroll.
Holding the ball,
free kick holding the ball, Bob.
The East Perth player had to appeal for it, and John Thurman says yes, and holding the ball against Claremont. 13 points the difference to decide this premiership. Down it goes towards the half-back flank. John Burns still using plenty of pace out there. Having trouble picking the ball up. Out it goes to McKeljic. Had a great first half, haven't seen a great deal of him late, but they're the throwing about to take place between left half forward and left full forward for Claremont. And if the Tigers can get a goal here, the game's certainly going to be on. Back it goes to the centre from a good knock. Hands Verstigan to Fragamini. There's 3 or 4 Claremont players on him. Up it goes towards the centre of the field. Whittle getting it further field. Mistakes galore, but courage is out there. Plenty of courage by all players. It's kicked to the centre and Tully's got the mark in the centre of the ground.
Tully's come into the game a little bit, Bob.
He certainly has. All players giving their utmost to win this flag, and what a great grand final it is. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Peter Hines, left full forward pocket, but he's thrown it away. Peter Hines should have had his kick, and now Martin getting them out of trouble. A good kick down towards half forward. Dennis Marshall is there, and the veteran gets the Tigers out of trouble. To Bob Greenwood, but he can't take it. Carl Fragamini. A lucky bounce all the way can decide this premiership. Graham Moss, look at those players. Carl Fragamini. Well played, East Perth. As it's beaten towards the centre half forward position. Nobody can pick it up. A scramble going on down there. John Lewis is in there. Too high, says the umpire.
Couldn't see it. I thought he had the ball. Jack said he
ducked his head and pulled the Guernsey over the head, and it looked like around the neck, and Furman played it that way, Marty. I thought it was a little bit technical, but still he saw it that way.
Bill Teeney played 189 games and kicked it towards full forward.
Up they fly from Teeney's kick. Claremont in there fighting desperately for the ball. Dennis Marshall picks it up in one grab, kicks it towards the member stand. Lee Gillespie leading in the race for the ball. He gets it and does it well. And is still doing it well. Shrewsbury Ridgewood. Marked by Tully. Tully steadies on the half-back flank. Now he decides to play on. Touches once. Going for the long punt kick, looking for Vernon Orr. Vernon Orr dives. He's no value on the ground. Picked up by Fragamini. Out towards Alexander. Looking for a teammate and finds him in McPherson.
Well, East Perth are winning the game, Marty. Pinpointing the ball.
That was a valiant effort there by Vernon Orr. He was a little bit unlucky not to mark that one.
Good comments by Jack Sheedy. They are winning the game by pinpointing the ball. Looking for a teammate, and they're finding a teammate. A good kick by McPherson. But tapped through by Wayne Reynolds. 1 point in favour of East Perth. East Perth now 9 goals, 10 leading Claremont, 8 goals, 6 at 15 minutes into the final quarter of this grand final.
John Lewis taking that kick off from Wayne Reynolds. Been a good player all day for Claremont with the red-headed fullback. Kicks it up towards the half-back flank. Nobody gets a clean mark. Dennis Marshall showing you plenty of pace. Gets it up to the centre of the ground. The Tigers can't pick it up. McKeljic does though. Puts it out to Martin. East Perth defence playing really well. Oh, there's Hayes and the ball out is showing a ton of pace there. Gets his left foot to the ball. But here's the ever reliable Lewis in the way once more. As we said, played a great game all day for the Tigers. Not his fault that they're behind at the moment. 68 points East Perth, 54 Claremont, 16-minute mark, final quarter. But here's Gillespie, had a bundle of kicks this fellow. Up towards full forward. John Lewis can't mark this one. But he shovels the ball out towards the blank position. And umpire Furman coming in now. He's going to bounce the ball in the left half forward, the left full forward position for East Perth.
Solomons is on.
Solomons is on, yes. All reserved just about on the ground, and some very tired players out there. As Claremont beat the ball towards the centre of the wing. Brown's camped underneath it, can't mark it. Burns picks it up. Oh, just lucky to get out of it. Brown shovels it on. Malcolm Brown trying to rally his side there to win this flag, which is so elusive. Look at those players. The umpire comes in, says, I'll have it. He'll bounce it down at centre half forward for the world. Just 14 points of difference in the 1972 season, still in doubt. It's John Burns, weaving and ducking. Gets his feet towards half forward. Laurie McPherson, a fresh player showing plenty of pace. Over goes McPherson.
No one to kick it to, Bob.
In comes Steve Riesel. He's got no one to kick it to, as Jack says. He had to go for the short pass to Greenwood. Greenwood's got someone to kick it to towards half forward. Dennis Marshall's gone to the half forward line. Picked up by Carroll. A long shot from Lindsay Carroll. Hits towards the square and 3 for 1 point. What a last quarter.
Desperate football by Claremont on that occasion. Steve Riesel touched the ground twice with the ball, looking for someone to kick it to. Didn't find it, but Carroll whizzed through and missed the running shot for goal. Malarkey kicking off for East Perth.
The runner going out to Malcolm Brown.
Plenty of distance by Malarkey in this time. Camped underneath it is Claremont. Vernon Orr takes a chest mark. 75 to 80 metres out from goal. No doubt looking for a teammate. Players are stationary at the moment. He just next to kick high in the air. The big pack underneath the ball. Punched to the ground. Picked up by Evans. Might have burst his way through a pack. An ugly pack milling there.
Nearly caught holding the ball. Evans just couldn't get his foot to the ball, Marty, and was being held at the same time.
On the bounce down. Evans flies for this one. Dozy doses round in a circle. Has a shot. But Malarkey reading the play well from the full-back position. Finds McPherson. McPherson looking for a teammate in Fragamini. Fragamini, the ball in front of him, but it's beaten him to the line and it's out of bounds and it's on the wing and the out of position. Scores at this 18-minute mark in the final quarter. East Perth 9-14 to Claremont 8 goals 7.
I think a goal to East Perth would seal it, and a goal to Claremont would bring them back into the game. Who's going to get the first goal as Byrne kicks it towards the half-forward line? But in the way there once more is Tully. Solomons here, just come on the ground. Norm Solomons playing in his first grand final. Boots it up towards the centre of the ground. The Tassie medalist underneath it. Ken McCauley relieves the pressure. Played 122 games from East Perth. There he is, having a kick to relieve the pressure. Up towards the half-forward line. Keaney making a valiant attempt. Now it comes to Duma Riesel. He's on the half-forward flank with him is Moss. Well picked up by Graham Moss. He's got plenty of open space in front of him. Oh, he doesn't know what to do with it. He finally decides, he's run too far. A little bit technical, that one. Players have been running 15 and 20 yards all day. And in the final few minutes of the game, the kick has gone against Graham Moss. A little bit unlucky, I'd say. Jack?
Pretty unlucky there. I thought that he touched the ground enough. I've seen players run a lot further. but trying to do a little bit too much, Moss.
There's a good kick from Malcolm Brown to send the Royals well into attack. Here's a chance for Whittle under the boot. A long kick. This could be the sealer. No, it's missed. And one more point. 69 points East Perth. 55 Claremont. 14 points of difference. And as I said, a goal to East Perth will just about seal the grand final. A goal to Claremont is going to put them right back into it. The Claremont Tigers, they're not giving in. There's the kick in. Players are covered everywhere. Just have to kick it long as it goes out towards Moss. Moss can't mark it. But Tierney does. East Perth supporters cheering as Phil Tierney, 55 metres out, half-forward line.
Claremont, Bob, bringing yet another man onto the ball in Hines coming down from full forward. They've only got about 2 up in the forward line.
Here's the kick from Phil Tierney. A good kick right up towards the square. Alexander can't mark it. It's forced through once more for 1 point, and the margin now stretches to 15 points.
And a handy lead by East Perth at this stage. On the kick in. Wayne Reynolds taking the kick in for Claremont. Claremont have got to lift their game and break through. If not, their history for 1972. Desperately, Tully gets the ball, kicks it towards us. But McCauley is there in front of Buzz Parkinson, doing a magnificent job under pressure, McCauley. What a great backman this boy is. Bob Greenwood destroys, but Burns is quick to pick up the ball. The centre position bangs towards the goal, but will go over the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket for East Perth.
Jeff, you can see how hard players are trying. They're trying to kick the ball 70 metres and they're not covering enough.
Bob, also, I think that East Perth are happy to keep the ball in their forward line. Anywhere down there, it relieves the pressure a bit for them.
On the throw-in. Ball comes to the ground. The fleet of footness of Bygrove. Tries to get his kicker smothered. And the run to the ball is McPherson. Always tackled very fastly and strongly. And John Furman says in the back. In the back he's given it. He's been doing this consistently. The man in the front and going for the ball has been in his favour. McPherson. Reserved for East Perth. Well, if he kicks this, I think a lot of spirit will fall out of the grand final for Claremont. Lines it up. Yes, that looks good. No, slightly offline. 1 point.
16-point margin.
Claremont just can't get the ball away from the forward line here. They just seem to lack a little bit of speed. If they could fire the Duperoozle or someone to get the break and get it up in their forward line. Here's the chance, probably, Bob, to Greenwood.
There's 20-minute mark of the 1972 grand final as it goes out towards the plate to Solomons. Having trouble picking it up, and the ball's gone out of play. 9-17, 71 East Perth. 8-7, 55 Claremont. And not one person has left the ground here of this 44,500. This great last quarter in the league grand final, as umpire Furman is going to come in and bounce it down on the half-forward flank. Well, how tense would be the East Perth supporters. They haven't won one since 1959. They've got it in their grasp. Claremont haven't won one since 1964, and they're battling desperately. Over it goes to Greenwood. Plenty of Claremont players here. Greenwood trying to shovel out, but he can't do so. 23-minute mark. Throw in half-forward flank. Whittle opposed to Crisp. 2 big boys in the air. Neither can get a hit out. Gillespie can't get it. John Hayes does. Screws it back towards the centre of the ground, but nobody can take the mark. John Lewis virtually throwing himself at the ball. Tully's in there with him, and Tully's been awarded the kick on the half-back line. Colin Tully certainly lifted his game in this final quarter. There's a Claremont player with a great torpedo punt kick up towards the half-forward line. McKelgick's dropped it. No, he's made it.
Paid a free kick.
Well, that's the push in the back he played, did he? Or
Yeah.
Back.
McKelgick relieving the pressure there. Much the relief of the East Perth supporters. Richard McKelgick played a good game, kicking the ball towards the half-forward line. John Evans can't mark it. John Daniels out there. John Daniels under the left boot towards full forward. What's happened there, Marty? Apparently a kick behind the play.
He's found something
Behind the play to Daniels, I'd say Evans apparently interfered with Daniels after he kicked it.
16 minutes, 16 points of difference, 71 to 55, and from the timekeepers, 3.5 minutes to go in the 1972 grand final. As John Daniels takes the kick at left half forward. I don't think Claremont have got enough time to win it, but they're fighting desperately. John Daniels, the big centre half forward. He's gone for the pass to Malcolm Brown, but it hasn't come up. In chips Burns. Burns showing a ton of pace on the left boot, and look at that pressure as the ball's booted out of play in the left ball forward pocket.
Yes, there's certainly a lot of pressure, but the game is dwindling away from Claremont. There's about 3 minutes left of play before time on period.
Marty, anywhere for all the centres to help, isn't it?
This is so, and he's shoveling the ball, pushing the ball. Malcolm Brown, his players up to the forward line. He's not worrying about getting goals at the moment. Verstigan picks up the ball. Greenwood's in there trying to pick it up. Fails to do so. Thomas comes through for Claremont. Long punt kick, but Corley's underneath it. So is Carroll. Deards anticipates the flight of the ball well, picks it up and goes with a long kick deep into the forward position. Underneath is reliable Lewis, who punches the ball down, but Greenwood picks it up again from the tap down. In comes Thompson of Claremont. Hand passes to Solomons. Is intercepted on the way. Beautifully pushed over to Lewis. A brilliant full-back for Claremont. Corley's in there fighting for the ball on the wing. Fighting desperately too. Buzz Parkinson kicks the ball off the ground, but big Bradley Smith is down. In comes Buzz Parkinson, picks the ball up, screws it on his right foot. I think it's offline. Just inside now, it's out on the full. A complete mistake by Parkinson.
He could have given it to Moss.
Could have shot it over in front anyway, give Moss the chance to put it in front, but still he's probably just thrown his foot at it and hoped it got that way somewhere.
That was a desperate one and a bad one for Claremont. Time is running out fast for them in the premiership in 1972. Looks like East Perth. East Perth taking the kick from the Malarkey, is it, from the full-back in the position has been kicked out of bounds. Defensive block, and McKelgic it is, that brilliant centre half-back. Evans is underneath it. Tries for the ball, fails to hold the greasy ball. Players go down and Stacks on the mill, picked up by Duperousel from the pack. Has a snap. Ball's kicked high in the air. East Perth are everywhere. Going as a team as they've done throughout. Shovel the ball off the ground desperately to Martin. Picked up, but Hines goes for it, but intercepted by DeFlee Gillespie, showing all the courage that's wanted. Shovels the ball ahead of him, and the umpire has found a free kick in favour of Lewis. Lewis, the full-back. Way down on the half-forward flank for Claremont at the moment. Goes for the punt kick. Rain pouring down at the moment. Ball comes to the ground. A big pack develops. Tully's in there, head down. Umpire says, I'll have it. A bounce down by John Thurman. The Rucks set themselves. About 15 players on the ball. East Perth are determined that this game creep away from it. But Duperousel snaps the ball from the pack. Has a shot. And through for 1 point to Claremont.
That makes the difference 15 points, and you certainly must admire these Claremont Tigers. They've looked beaten on 3 or 4 occasions, but they're not giving in. I'd say there's about 90 seconds to go, and they're 15 points behind. There's a kick in to be taken by Gary Malarkey, who's done a great job at full-back. Here's the young fellow kicking out, only played 24 games. He kicks to centre half-back. John Lewis is up there trying to rally him. Out comes Bill Tierney. That's John Lewis in the centre of the ground. He's been a good player all day. Back it comes towards the centre. Oh, players going left, right and centre. Hines trying to battle through. He does so. The greasy ball. Can't pick it up by either player. John Burns battling. Umpire Furman still letting it go. And the ball's going to be bounced at centre half forward with time ticking away. East Perth looked like taking it out. 7 times runners up in 12 years. I don't think anybody would begrudge them this premiership if they win it. There's the ball on the half forward line. Seconds to go as the ball's in the full forward area, but Malarkey once more being a great player. Beats at the flag, it's taken by Vernon Orr. 15 points the difference. What a tense grand final last quarter it's been. As Vernon Orr sends the Tigers into attack. Can they score another goal? There's the siren! The siren to win the 1972 grand final. East Perth, 9-17-71. They're beating a gallant Claremont, 8-9-56 in a great last quarter. And for his comments, former coach of East Perth, Jack Shady.
I find it a little bit hard to talk, Bob, but just the same, there's a tremendous scene here as the crowd run across the ground, and certainly today I think was East Perth's day because they deserved this grand final through the teamwork they displayed all day today. Claremont had individuals, but East Perth had teamwork, and they pinpointed the ball from the start of the game right through to that last quarter, and as desperate as it was, they were still able to get the ball at times to a teammate. Claremont couldn't do this. They were haphazard in their attacks, they were spasmodic in their kicking to players, and I would like to single out some of these Perth players, but I don't think that should be the thing to do, because today, as I say, teamwork won them this grand final.
Well, it was a great crowd here of 44,000, thoroughly enjoying it, and there's a very victorious and happy Malcolm Brown, who's captain coach of the Royals, who've tried many, many times, as we said, 7 times runners-up in the last 12 years, and a very happy and victorious East Perth side.
And he deserved it, Bob. He's put so much into it.
He certainly did. A great last quarter, a great effort by East Perth. But let's not forget the gallant Claremont side who fought on out all the way. A very determined effort by Claremont. And now once more the final scores in this grand final. We certainly hope you've enjoyed it. 9-17 East Perth defeating Claremont 8-9 in the 1972 grand final from Subiaco Oval.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller, members of the WANFL, any supporters, firstly I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Milner from Claremont, who was one of the first to offer his congratulations. And I can say there's no one here better qualified than me to say bad luck to Vernon Howell. I offer my commiserations to Vernon. I'd like to thank all the people that 3 years ago when I was appointed have supported me and stuck with me over this period. I'd like to thank the players for, I'd say, and it's a quote, loyalty beyond the call of duty. To them, I'd like to say one thing: you were magnificent. Thanks very much, folks. Unfortunately, I think the one we should thank's God. He hasn't been with us before.